Oh, yeah. What? Good morning. Hi. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the eModels live stream on a Monday night.
Welcome to Ted's Playtime.
Yeah, sorry, you caught me out there. Yeah.
We've been sitting here for half an hour watching him do that. I wouldn't worry about you.
It's fascinating and terrifying at the same time.
Yeah. Whenever you build an airplane, you've always got to, sort of look at it. Yeah, that would be the angle that if the Spitfire pilot saw it, we would see it coming in at that angle, and chasing it at that angle. Yes,
I like the way he's justified it. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, it's pure. Yeah,
it's research. It's research, not playing research.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Welcome to a Monday night from Ted here in Ted's Cave. It's not quite cave, it's somewhere different from last week. Tonight, I'm broadcasting from under the stairs.
Hello, Harry.
Yeah, that's where I sleep down there, in that little hole down there. That's where I sleep. I'm going to try it from the dining room this evening. I've got the Ethernet cable plugged in, so I'm not on Wi-Fi. Yeah. Hopefully it's going to be a little less choppy than usual.
You do realise if you watch over the next 12 weeks, you'll get a guided tour of Ted's house, basically.
I was hoping for it. I'm wondering when he's going to start repeating.
Yeah. It just might not be a very nice episode when I'm broadcasting from the toilet.
Ew, depends what you've eaten.
Just don't move the camera around too much. It's fine.
Yeah. The camera will be outside. The door will be shut. I'm broadcasting from the toilet.
Yeah, and you'll be sitting there beginning, I shouldn't have gone and got all that scampi from Chippy Bank. Oh.
No. Moving on. Unfortunately, I can't see the chat tonight because it slows everything down too much. So the guys are going to keep me in the loop. Hopefully, we've got Chris, who will be the chat dolly.
Yeah. Most of my voice is back this week, so I do have occasional bouts of coughing. So I try and mute where I can, but you excuse me if I do cough all over you.
Yeah,
we can't catch anything on the telly, so it's all right.
And we obviously Foxx with us as well, who's just here for the crack.
Yeah. I'm here for the crack.
Yeah, here for the crack. Remember, don't forget, it's your show, you guys out there. So if you have any questions, any comments, you can either put them in the chat. Foxx will do his little spiel in a moment. But if not, you can send them to me at ted@eModels.co.uk. And I'll pick them up.
There's only one eModels in that address, though.
Yeah, there's only one eModels. It's not eModels. ted@eModels.co.uk.
Do you want to just read it out again, Ted? Because everybody's confused.
Yes, it's ted@eModels.co.uk. And I'll pick them up on the phone, on the bag of emails. Oh, and we've lots of them tonight.
And is your phone charged?
The phone's charged. Yeah, it's switched on, so it's not going to shut down halfway through. And hopefully, I won't lose the emails.
Yeah.
Yes. So, here we are Monday night. It's been quite a busy weekend as well, hasn't it? Apparently, some football team or other won some football.
Yeah, there was some kicking of balls and stuff. Yeah, I remember hearing about it. But...
Was it a sports ball thing, kind of?
Yeah.
One of them made a net or something. Or...
Yeah, I remember driving to work and there was lots of chat about, it's a great match last night and things like that. So I'm assuming a favourite football team won, but I don't know more than that.
I think they did because I was in the garden painting and every now and then I heard my neighbour go, yeah! So I'm guessing somebody important.
Yeah, I was at work and at about 2:30, all the customers stopped coming in and all the pub volume just went up. And,
So you went to the pub?
No, I stayed and conscientiously worked.
Careful with his main tone that none of the three of us actually like football.
No, unfortunately, no. But good luck if you following football. Good luck to you, and hope everything goes well. And it's coming home or something.
Wednesday, they're doing it again on Wednesday. Apparently, more footballing.
I've heard that song. Some of my neighbours at the back, the ones that kept me up last week, when I was saying about how they kept me up all night till 4 a.m, they were obviously watching the sports ball as well. And when the match had finished, they just played "It's Coming Home" like over and over and over, and sang along to it and played it really loud.
If they actually played it, then they might have actually made it to the second verse, because I've not heard anyone sing the second verse yet.
Oh, they sang the whole thing, like
they sing the first verse, and then they sing the first verse, and then they sing the first verse, then they have a drink, then they sing the first verse.
Yeah, it's so I hate that song now. I hated it anyway, but now I hate it even more. Chris,
Right,
who are we going tonight, Chris?
right, yeah. Who's in tonight, and what's going on in chat? Tell me.
Who's in tonight? Well, the first person in tonight was Sergeant Bones.
Oh no, actually, no, you missed out. Lynn.
That's as far up as my check goes.
Just before Sergeant Bones was Lynn Dipple, who was here 2 hours ago.
Oh,
Crazy people.
Oh well. We've got Sergeant Bones, Mike Hornsey, Ickle Beats about. So the chat's open early tonight, but apparently not early enough because Lynn was in hours ago. Yeah. I'm there. Me. Yay. Screwgrew Addict says eModels is coming home. It's coming home.
Oh,
somebody had to, but well done.
Phil Kett says evening all. Still Lynn, Phil, still the same people again. Zadster's in. Michael Jackerman, hi all. Simon D, hi all. Mike Mountain, evening all. Evening Dad. My eyes have gone funny. Richard Gibbs, that's a name I haven't seen before. Hello, hi all, he says. Don't remember that one. Dave Barker's in. Evening, chaps. Oh, he's in as himself, not as his channel today.
Has he got his boning tool?
Maybe you'll change in a minute. I don't know if he's been using his boning tool tonight. You'll have to ask him.
Tool.
Got Wayne Hayward. Hi all. Osric 9000 says, hello, chums. Nice to see you back out of focus, Ted. I don't think he's really out of focus. I think it's just his bandwidth's low enough that everything's just a bit pixelated.
Yeah, it's just when I try to wave now, it sort of goes like that.
We have a stop motion, Ted.
Yeah, he's rocking the mid-2000s, like early days of YouTube.
I think we should have a play motion Ted for when he's not here.
Yeah. It's not so bad. At least I don't get that squeaky squealing sound when you try to connect your internet. You know, used to be on dial-up.
Yeah, and then someone picks up the phone and breaks it all.
What amazes me about the internet is it doesn't seem that long ago, but it also seems like a lifetime ago that we all bemoan the fact that websites were starting to put video on their websites, and it was like, oh, there's still video and I can't watch this. Stop! Just give me pictures and text all the time. Now everything's video, and it's like if a website doesn't have video, I'm like, oh, just give me video. I don't want to read stuff. But I remember the days when it was like you go to a website, oh, it's a video. There's no point. I can't watch it.
Yeah, you can load in a picture and it loads up a line at a time, a line, and then the next line, and then the next line, the next line. Eventually, you figure out what the picture's meant to be.
Yeah, and you go, oh, it's not the right picture.
When you had bandwidths and you opened a page and it took about 10 minutes to open, now you know if it takes more than a split second. Speaking of which, my bandwidth is still crap. I had the BT engineer that come today, and he said, "There's nothing wrong with it, mate. Line's fine, cable's fine. Problem at BT, and I'd phone them up and complain if I were you." So that's all they did. So so tomorrow I will be complaining.
Yeah, dear points of view.
Yeah,
I should be writing a strongly worded letter to the Times in a bold font.
I wouldn't email them because they won't get it because
the
connection will take too long.
So you're on a stunning, what is it, 6.5 meg?
No,
please be lucky.
4 meg.
4.
Wow.
Yeah, he said, how much did they promise you? They said, well, at least 10. 10 would be something useful. Oh, your line's capped at 6, mate. You won't get any more than 6. So, right. I shall get them to twiddle the volume control tomorrow.
Stuart Platt says it's his first live chat forever. So, hello, Stuart.
Oh, hello, Stuart.
Oh, welcome. Yeah, well, good. Good evening to you. Yeah, send us some questions in, ted@emodels.co.uk.
Don't forget, as always, folks, if you're watching this somewhere where there isn't any live chat, we want you to come and join in the live chat because we depend on your questions to have something to talk about. Otherwise, we'll just talk about old TV. So if you're watching somewhere that's not got the chat, like you're watching on eModels website, emodels.co.uk/live, what you need to do is click the YouTube icon in the bottom corner down here somewhere on that corner, I think. Click on that and it'll transport you magically to the YouTube page where you can see the live chat. If you want to ask a question, like Ted says, put it in chat, but put the whole thing in big fat capital letters so we can't possibly miss it. We'll do our best not to miss it. You can, if you wish. There is a super chat option, little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. If you'd like to, you can use a super chat, and that will put your question in a big coloured box, so we even can't miss it even more. But if you've not got access to the chat at all, if you're watching on a mobile device and you can't get it, just send Ted an email to ted@emodels.co.uk. Send us your questions. Can be about anything, not just model making. They can be about plants, cars, air, anything you want. And don't forget, of course, 2 other things. If you want to send us a question and answer for us to use in the giveaway section later on when we do our stickers, send us a question and the answer. And if we use your question and answer, you will win a sticker. So make sure, send us a question and the answer and include your name and address in the email so we then don't have to mail you and ask you what your address is.
Yeah. If you want a sticker, just include your name and address. If you don't want a sticker, but just want to submit a question and get a shout out, don't forget the shout outs as well. We'll tell you about in a minute. Yeah, if you just want a shout out with your question, just say so, and we won't need to waste the post. Send you a sticker, but we'll send you one anyway. We'll send you a sticker.
And if you've got a shout out, like a local modelling event in your area or a birthday or something you want to shout out, just drop us an email as well, and we'll do a shout out for you.
Yeah, it's the season of shows. It's all now. Everybody's out showing off the models at the local show times. We'd just like to help get the word out. So, yeah, tell us. Yeah. So, anyway, it's about the time of what have you been doing this week? Let's start with Chris. I think you sat there doing nothing.
I was just reading the questions.
Yeah, he was reading. You disturbed him.
I was doing some reading. You woke me up.
It's me.
I don't know how much of it you can see behind me there. It's
big space tube.
Yeah, it's growing.
Blimey.
It gets quite big.
Yeah.
So, I'll take the top bit off because I don't need to fill the whole thing with now.
Let me show you my impressively large tube.
This is the latest bit that I've done, the top bit, which...
the technical name, the top bit.
Top bit. Well, this is the 3rd stage, but it's got this extra bit that I'm not sure what that is yet. I haven't looked at the instructions.
Looks
in
like
there, even that comes off, and these actually open. So the actual landing module bit goes in there.
Cool.
I haven't built that yet.
Is that silver bit just a spacer or something? Too?
No, that's the like the command module or something. I should think probably.
it looks. Yeah, I thought it was a bottle of a bottle of tonic water at the first.
No, for some reason it's got it's got little thrusters and things around it and stuff.
When you see the film of the Apollo launch and you see like the landing module and the capsule and stuff blast off away from the camera, it's that bit you see it from.
Wow.
So if you wanted to get really clever, you could make a tiny 1/144th scale camera and stick it in there somewhere.
Yeah, but a 1/144th scale camera would be like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a rice.
I can't put that back on there now. You made me break it.
Oh, he's broken it now. Ted, when you said it looked like a bottle of tonic water, did you mean gin?
Yeah, gin. What's that then? Never heard.
He hasn't found his gin box yet.
Yeah, it's still packed away somewhere.
That'd be the biggest box of all of them.
Yeah, I'm unsure if you've been actually building models there, Chris, or doing a bit of plumbing.
Yeah, it's getting there. Big bit of PVC pipe, but yeah. So I've been also I built this week.
Oh yeah. Oh,
that's so cute.
This is a tiny little robot thing that's solar powered, but I haven't been able to do it. Well, I got it at Christmas, and it wasn't sunny enough. So I've actually got around to building it this week, and it's a little robot thing. When the sun lands on the little thing, it goes forward. I don't think it's in danger of taking over the world. So
it's very cute, but it does need some googly eyes just above the solar panel.
Yeah. Trouble is, it's got other things that you can build with it, and walking things and stuff, and the head can go in different positions, and you can come off from there, and it's almost like sort of electronic Lego.
Oh,
you put the head in different places, and it does different things. So.
Sprigly Raddick says of your Apollo Saturn V rocket, he says, is it a 6-stage rocket? If so, it would be perfect build for Foxx. And not really.
I think there's technically 3 stages, but then there's the extra bits on the top bit. It's definitely the first stage is the big bit, then the second stage, and the third stage.
Yeah.
And then I sort of lose track of what the rest of it's called.
Aculius says that little thing is is K9.
Yep.
It says, affirmative, master.
So I never did grasp it. Is all that stuff still up there? Is it all floating around as space debris?
I think lots of it comes back down. Because some of it, when the first stage only gets them so high, and then they break it off and it falls back down, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just falls.
Only a bit of it goes into orbit.
Yeah, it's the lander and the return, the whatever the module. What was it called? They got the LEM, which is the lander, the lunar excursion module,
And the little triangular thing that comes back home.
Well, no, it's the mothership, isn't it, with the triangular bit on the front?
Yeah, well, that's that silver bit, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was just. I don't know if it was called the mothership or the fourth stage. Or
command module or something. Or,
I remember the LEM. Going to step off the LEM now.
Yeah, because they left half of that there, didn't they?
Yeah, the bottom half stays there.
The bottom bit where the legs, they just land, and then the top bit just goes back up again. Yeah.
Which, for all those naysayers who say there were no lunar landings, and yes, the JAXA satellite that did the flyby by the moon said, "There's a picture of it. Look, brilliant! Hey!" And everybody went,
"Oh, fake
that." Not surprisingly, all the deniers said, "Yeah, it's a faked picture."
Yeah. Phil Kett says
command
module.
to us.
So command module is obviously the word we're going for.
Yes, that's the one. Command module.
Yeah, I just wondered if somebody was driving in the new Skylab type thing, and then bump. What was that? Oh, it's bloody 1970s bloody space junk.
That was all space junk up there.
Yeah, didn't hit the wing. I never saw it coming out of that junction.
He wasn't indicating or anything.
Well, the thing, he's got his car up there, and he's got one of the Musk has got one of his cars up in space now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Wonder what he had to pay in insurance for that.
I don't know. All of it.
Yeah, I wonder what happens when it's due for service. You have to fit it back, otherwise, your warranty's void.
I read a few
things.
People were saying it would have been perfect if you committed a murder to actually put someone in there, because there's a dummy in there in a spacesuit. And he said it would have been a great place to stow a body if there's a murder. Just put him in that spacesuit and blast him off into space.
You put him in the boat, couldn't you?
Yeah, problem solved. Starman, it was called, the dummy in the spacesuit.
Yeah. Michael Jackman's been having trouble with nose weights, apparently. He built the P-61 Black Widow. He says, "I wish someone last week had told me how much weight I had to put in to make it not tail sit. Put as much lead as I could under the cockpit floor, not enough." Yeah. The big Starlifter was the first plane that I've done in wheels down, and I completely forgot about nose weight on that. So I had to put it in behind the cockpit window. Luckily, just about enough.
Yeah. Zadster says LEM, command module, service module. So LEM is the lander, command module is the little cone that comes back, and the service module is the little tube that sits on the back of the cone, the mothership. We do have an announcement, a shout out. Andy B67 says, "Not been about for a while, job wasn't going well, had an interview last week and got the job. Still in the aerospace industry. I start the 6th of August. Happy days." So congratulations, Andy.
Congratulations. Well done.
Nothing better than leaving a job you hate, going to a job you don't hate. It's just brilliant.
I don't hate yet.
It's nice.
Yeah, there's always that possibility.
It's also nice when you get to the stage where you're in a job and you think, I don't have to be here if I don't want to, but I'm enjoying it. Yeah. As soon as somebody's horrible to you, you just say, bye.
You know what? Funnily enough, that's exactly what I did my last. I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. Bye. I just walked out.
Yeah. And that's what I said to my manager in a previous job to this. "Can I have a word?" Yeah. What do you want? "I've got something for you." And handed her an envelope. "Oh, what's this?" "It's my resignation." Oh, when are you leaving?" "Now, goodbye."
And then never return to the MI6 building ever again.
Yes. So yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. Nice feeling to be able to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
For those who may be new to the show, Ted has a string of bizarre and impressive jobs that lead us to conclude at some point he was probably working for MI6. He always comes up with some exotic. Yeah, I used to do such and such a job.
Yeah, I used to do that. Yeah.
He hasn't denied it, so that's basically the same as accepting it, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a whole list of jobs he's told us about and the ones he can't tell us about.
It's the one that didn't sign the paper with.
Yeah, me and Ted have both signed the Official Secrets Act, so.
Yeah, the name's Ted, Skipper Ted.
.eModels.co.uk.
Yeah, I know
when you sign something, do you sign it as Ted, next line, Ted from eModels, next line, eModels.co.uk? Yeah. People come on the boat and say, "Who are you?" "I'm Ted from eModels.co.uk." And they go,
it's even scarier when the people say, "Oh, Ted from eModels."
Yes, I know you. The people, you can see people looking at me thinking, "Have I seen him somewhere before?" You never know.
Or when they go, "Hello, Ted, here's a tank."
Yes, exactly. Yes, Chris. Hi, I'm Chris. "Hello, Chris. Here's a tank." Yeah, thank you very much. Right, yeah. But anyway, we haven't finished. What have you been doing this week? What have you been doing this week, Fox?
This week, I have been mostly painting in the garden. I'm supposed to be working on my master grade Strike Rouge Otori, but I can't because in here it's like 1 trillion degrees during the day. For those outside the UK, for the last 3 weeks, we've had what we call a heat wave, what you would call probably a nice summer, but we're not used to it. So I've not been able to do anything in here at all. I mean, doing this now is not so bad. I've got the fan blowing in the background. It's cold outside now. So, but when I finish this, I have to turn the computer off, turn all the lights off, and just leave the room for like 3 or 4 hours with the window open and the fan going to cool it down. So haven't been able to get any work done on the bench. I need to get this Strike Rouge done. So the only thing I can do is sit out in the garden where it's actually cooler than inside the house. So what I did was I've been working on my Imperial Knight, my Warhammer Imperial Knight for my army. Because it's the only thing I can do outside. I can't airbrush. So I can do a bit of brush painting. So I've been painting up, and don't be surprised if something falls off because it's not all glued together. I've been working on my Imperial Knight, which you guys, I'll see if I can zoom in. I can probably zoom in. Let me see if I can zoom in. Hang on.
Oh dear, he's going to break it now.
I'm going to press all the wrong buttons now. There we go. I've been working on my Imperial Knight, which is coming along nicely. I'm doing a Warhammer army, and I'm basing it on the Principality of Zeon from the Mobile Suit Gundam universe. So this is basically a Knight Zaku. It's painted in the color scheme of a Zaku from Mobile Suit Gundam. And I'm not finished it yet. There's still loads of bits to do. I've just started the chipping and the weathering. But I'm having a great time painting that. And it was just a case of, when it gets to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll just unzoom. Where's my zoom thing? Oh, wrong way. Gordon's alive. Sorry about that. Or we could go on 1960s go-go dance. I won't do that again. Yeah, so basically I'd sit outside and watch the bees in the garden because it's the only place I can be cool. And then when it got to about 3 o'clock, the sun moved around the house, so it was in shade, so I could actually get my paints out and I could just start painting. And the one thing I learned is using a wet palette outside when it's sunny, you need to have some kind of lid on it. I've got a sandwich box, so I just use the bottom of the sandwich box that you put the sandwiches in as the lid, and the lid of the sandwich box is my wet palette. And the first time I used it, I just took that off and was painting away, and the wet palette was dry in about 5 minutes. I'm like, oh. So I just decided, all I realised was I need to keep the top on and just go in, get the paint, put the top back on. It actually worked. It stayed wet and moist, so I learned that. But I've been practicing dry brushing this week, doing that. Lots of dry brushing and feathering to get colours to blend together because I'm not doing any airbrush work, but I want to get some nice soft blends around some of the shading. And I've done a lot of practice, and I've actually learned quite a lot this week for dry brushing. I love dry brushing. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I don't think it's really the weather for airbrushing because as soon as it leaves the airbrush, it'll just dry.
Well, I mean, I couldn't airbrush in here because it's too hot. Literally, I turned that compressor on, which is hot anyway. I would just melt my entire body weight away. So at the moment, I've not. That's all I've been working on is my Warhammer stuff because it's anything I can take outside and play with. Bit of brush paint. And I've got to tell you, if you ever get the chance, if you've got a garden, if you ever get the chance on a nice sunny day, you've got something that you just brush painting. You don't need your airbrush or anything. Go outside, sit in the sun, do some painting. Make sure you're in the shade. It's really nice and quite relaxing because you're painting, you're working away. You've got the best light you're ever going to have because the sunlight is the best light you can ever work in. It's dead nice. In my garden, we've got where I sit on the patio. Right behind me, like that far from me, it's a big row of lavender with 1 billion bees that come. All the bees come and hang out on the lavender and do all the flower things. So I've got all these bees behind me because I love bumblebees. They're all behind me and they're all buzzing away quite nicely. It's quite relaxing. And I've got birds in the garden. So I'm just sitting there quite at one with nature, painting away. And it's actually really good fun. So if you ever get a chance and you've got a garden, or even if you haven't got a garden, but maybe you live in an apartment, you've got a balcony, if you get a nice day, sit outside and do some painting. It's actually really relaxing.
Yeah, a few paints. Yeah, a few paints of paint brush in your kit in a suitcase. Off you go, take the beach. Yeah. Go to the beach, go to the park. Yeah. Get the rug out, picnics and things like that. Do a bit of painting.
So that's all I've done this week. Worked on my. It was primed by the start of the week. He was primed. Now he's pretty much almost done, but not quite.
Yeah.
I just want to show one thing, if I may. Some people will have seen this on my stream yesterday, but I'm going to take that off because it keeps falling off. Just to show you what you can do with dry brushing, because I didn't think this would work, but big massive beard. If you look at that gun on the side, it won't really come out on camera because it's probably not even in focus. I'm trying to focus on it. It's as good as it gets. It might not come out on camera, but there is heat staining on this part here. But that heat staining is all dry brushing. There's no. Some people use inks and things. You might see better on the other side. But some people use inks and things like that. But that's not inks. It's all dry brushing. And I have to tell you, if you get yourself some, I've put it in a box now, of the AK Interactive True Metal colours, not the oil paints. Are they True Metals? The little lighter aluminium one.
Zoom out.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, zoom out.
No, see how long it's going to take him.
Yeah, the I think it's Vallejo or AK, the metallic paints, the duraluminum one. It's Vallejo metal color 77.770, I think, duraluminum. If you dry brush that, it's a super shiny, bright color. It's fantastic.
I've just got the chat up here on my phone at a minute. Ron Max says he can't quite get the hang of dry brushing as he always takes too much off. Yeah, it's a matter of just getting that balance, but also, as Fox will probably tell you, that some paints actually do dry brush better than the others.
Yeah. I mean, I've found the best paints to dry brush with the Vallejo and Citadel. Don't try and dry brush with anything other than oil paints or water-based acrylics. And the trick is, what I've found when I was doing it is when you're trying to say dry brush something like this, there's two things you can do. You can do a dry brush where you get your part like that and just flick the brush back and forth like that to pick out the edges. That's one method. The other method, I'll have to zoom in again, so you're going to get the beard again, sorry. The other method is if, say you painted this, because what I did on the night was I painted, say, this bit green, and then I put a wash of brown ink over it, and that darkened it all, but it went into the recesses. And then I got the same green I started with, and I got a little tiny amount on the brush, just like that much of the brush had paint on it, just that little bit there. Got most of it off on the tissue. Instead of going like this, I very gently started working, I can't really get the camera right, in circles like this. Little circular motions with the brush kind of flat on. Just working in little circles very, very gently with almost no paint on the brush. And it takes a while. But what you're doing there is, instead of picking out all the edges with the flicking motion, you're actually building up the paint in the center of panels. So you end up with the similar effect to where you airbrush a color and then do a darker color around the outside and a lighter color in the middle. You're kind of doing post shading, but you're doing it dry brushing. So the trick is to get almost nothing on there and do little circular motions like that and just build it up slowly. Unless you want to get just edges, in which case just flick it backwards and forwards like that.
Yeah, I think the secret is, as I've mentioned there, the secret is that it does take a while.
Yeah.
You probably do the first couple of coats and you'll think that nothing's there.
Yeah.
And then
oh, I've got to zoom out. Hang on.
It's sort of magic. It'll just appear before your eyes.
Yeah.
It'll be there, but you'll suddenly see it. Crikey, it's come out. Yeah, but your first couple of brushes, just go over it. Nothing. It won't seem to happen. You just tint it a little bit, and then so it's almost like filters.
Yeah, and the trick is, the other trick is I've learned as well over the years is a lot of people will just dip the brush in the paint like that and get paint all over it and then get loads of it off on the tissue. When you're doing like subtle dry brushing, like to get a highlight in it, because you could go on, like I said there, you could use a lighter color than your base color if you wanted to get a highlight. You just literally want about just the very tip of the brush to have some paint on it. Just almost no paint. Just touch it to the paint supply, whatever that paint may be. Touch it in, work it into the bristles, give it a good munge around, get most of it off. And you really want almost nothing on there so that when you do that on your hand, you probably won't even see any paint. And then you just build it up. It takes a while. But if you do it that way, in little circles and very gently, you get a nice smooth finish. If you get a load of paint on there and get most of it off, but there's still quite a lot, and you start doing this, that's when you can start to get a rough finish because it picks out the surface of the paint underneath the rough texture. But if you're using little circular motions, you get a nice smooth surface. When I was a kid, I used to color with color pencils. I used to do drawing and color with color pencils. I used to color in things using circular motions as well to get a nice solid color rather than pencil marks. So little tiny circles and build it up. And don't forget, there are lots of different sizes of dry brushes. You can get big ones this big. You can get tiny ones for small areas. So always look at the bit you need to dry brush. If you're doing edges, it can be any size. But if you're trying to do a small area like a highlight, get the brush that fits that part you're doing. If it's a little tiny panel, get a little tiny dry brush. If it's a big open area, get yourself a big dry brush.
Yeah, somebody was actually, I did notice in chat, somebody was actually asking that question, were there any particular dry brushes? Yeah, you can buy them. You can use all brushes. All brushes don't work too. Yeah, they work, but you can buy specific dry brushes.
Yeah.
I know that eModels do stock some. They're labelled as such, or you can buy them in a set.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, get the brush, as Foxx says, get a brush to fit.
Yeah.
I mean,
to get a nice smooth finish, you want to get the softest dry brushes you can. And they're going to be that shape. They're going to be like chisel shaped, or some of them might have a sloped edge. Two of the ones I really like are the Citadel brushes, but eModels don't sell those, and the Army Painter brushes, which eModels do sell, and they are really nice. In fact,
nice.
if you get a chance, I've kind of fully converted over to all the Army Painter brushes now, like the Psycho, the Monster, the Regiment. There's loads of different brushes. All my brush painting now is pretty much the Army Painter brushes. I haven't got them here; they're all stored away. But eModels do have those. There is a mega brush set with all of them in, but I don't know if they have those. But they do have the individual brushes. They've got different dry brushes. They've got the Regiment brush is kind of a medium-sized brush for painting large areas on figures and stuff. The Psycho is a tiny brush. I've kind of converted over to the Army Painter brushes now, so check them out. They are really good. And their dry brushes do give you a nice smooth finish.
Cool. Sorry, I'm just having a look, see if there's any more emails. Don't forget to send your emails in, ted@emodels.co.uk. It's your show, your questions. It's because you feed us with the questions that we can run this show and give us something to talk about.
Aculius just says the Mega Brush set is awesome. I'll just see if they've got it in stock, actually. Because if they have, if you want to get into brush painting, if you've never really tried it before, if you like brush painting, I do strongly recommend it.
Just while you're doing that, Merlin's Muse and Richard Gibbs saying good night, everybody. They've got to go. Merlin's off to work, and Richard's got an early start in the morning. So yeah, don't work too hard, especially this such horrible got to work.
Yeah, Spiddy Q8 came in a little while ago and said hi guys, and then he said and Ted. I'm not sure what was implying there.
Yeah, I have been picking up one or two people saying that they think I'm out of focus a little bit. Yeah, it might be out of focus because of the bandwidth. I've changed up to HD, hoping that it'll not drag the bandwidth down too much. It might be an improvement, hopefully.
Yeah, he's not out of focus. He's just low res tonight. He's gone lo-fi on us.
Yeah, it's so good.
I've just checked. They don't have the Mega Brush set in stock, but they do have quite a good range of the Army Painter brushes. Including the large dry brush, the small dry brush, and some other ones. Well, the Regiment one is in there. If you quite fancy the Mega Brush set though, just give the guys at eModel a call or an email. They can probably get it for you. Because what they'll tend to do is if you ask them to get it, they can get it because they do stock the Army Painter stuff. And it's if you're trying to find it on the site, it's not Army Painter, it's the Army Painter.
How many in the Mega Brush set is that? Like
you get the Monster, Psycho, Regiment. You get a larger, small dry brush. You get a couple of other brushes. I can't remember what they are, but you also get a free, another brush free, and it is. I've not got it here. You also get a free, very fine sable brush with it as an extra. But it's a good set. It's a really, really good set.
Yep.
They're excellent brushes.
Spiddy Q8 says, question, at which point does dry brushing become wet brushing?
Yeah, you can actually wet brush. There's kind of dry brushing, and then there's not quite taking all the paint off. And it is actually a technique you can use, although I can't remember when you would use it. But you
not just
can use it. It's kind of like sometimes if you want to say apply like a faded mud effect, sometimes things like that, you might or do a blend. You might go in with a bit more paint on the dry brush than you normally would to get smooth effects. But it's not. I've never had to do it, but I know it is something that you can do. It's kind of called a wet brush because it's more of a wet dry brush. So it's actually a thing.
Yeah. Well, never know.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, Lynn says I'm not as blurry as I was. Yeah, good.
Ron Max says he's going to eModels on Saturday, and we'll see what they've got in stock. Give him a shout if you're looking for anything particular. To anyone that's going to pop to the store, especially Ron, there, if there's anything you want to pick up, get it ordered before you go, and make sure you select it for collect in store or pay over the phone, because then they can have it ready for you. Because on Saturdays there's only a couple of the guys in. So get an order through first, and then say you'll collect it. But if you want them something specific like that Army Painter brush set, anything like that, just give them a shout and see if you can get it in for you, because they might be able to get it in before you turn up.
Yeah, because we'd hate you to make a special trip to eModels to pick something up, think, oh yeah, I'll order it when I get there. Because yeah, you can walk in and ask them, have you got such and such a kit? Gav or James will have a look at the computer, it's there. But we'd hate you to go and it be out of stock.
And so we can get it for you for tomorrow.
Yeah, so if you just give them a shout tomorrow and just say, I'm going to pop in on Saturday, is there any chance you can grab, let's say, I don't know if this is what you're referring to, but for example, the Army Painter Mega Brush set. They'll probably say, yeah, we can get one of them for you. They might not be able to. They might take them a week to get it, but if you ask and they can get it, they can get it for you in advance. Totally Scale Models asked how much it is. I don't know how much eModels sell it for because they've not got it in stock, but I've seen it for about between 30 and 35 quid.
Yeah, Mike Mountain says £33, so I don't know where
it's 7 or 8 brushes, something like that. It's a nice collection of brushes. They're really nice quality, and if you look after them and clean them properly and use some Masters brush cleaner and stuff, they'll last you for years. But they are really nice. My painting has just massively increased quality-wise without blowing my own trumpet since I started using them. They're brilliant.
Scale Model Vamp says, if I order the brushes, would I be able to order the metal paints at the same time? If you're talking about ordering from eModels, then yeah.
Order whatever you want.
That's sort of what I do.
Yep. If you are local or you know where they are, you can actually go into the store and collect your order. You don't have to then pay shipping. You just need to make sure.
I've got a live audience, or I had a live audience. Just had somebody looking through the window.
Is it Mrs. Ted or the chicken?
No, it's over here. The window to the dining room's there, which is the front street. Somebody's just looking through the window.
Public watching.
Yeah.
Now, what would be weird is if they're watching the live stream on their phone whilst looking at you through the window.
So next week you might be in your front garden.
Yeah.
People camping outside next. Yeah.
Outside broadcast unit.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. So if you want to save yourself the shipping costs and you're not too far from eModels, I can't remember the exact option. It's either pay over the phone, in which case you can phone them and say, I'll come and collect it in store, or it's collect in store, in which case they'll know to put it all to one side and wait for you to turn up.
Yeah, there is a collect in store.
I think it's pay over the phone, which means you just have to give them a call and say, I'm coming in to collect it.
Scale Model Vamp says, but I'm not even in the same country, so I don't think
that's not going to happen.
To the store.
Scale Model Vamp's in South Africa, so that's going to be a bit of a trick.
Call in for the price of an extra plane fare. You can call in, see the price. Yeah, just tell them I've travelled 4,000 miles and can have a coffee.
Can you imagine getting all the way there from South Africa and they say, have you got this? Oh no, we just sold the last one yesterday.
Yeah, that guy that guy that just passed you on the way in, he just bought the last one.
They might make you a brew. Just don't ask Gav, because Gav doesn't do brews. James will make you a brew, but Gav will be like, oh.
And take donuts. Yeah, got to take donuts.
You take donuts, you'll get whatever you want.
Yeah. Right. What have I been doing? Yeah, we're still on the what have we been doing. But you saw this when we came in. A Messerschmitt. To be honest, I didn't build it. Skylar did. It's a snap. It's an Airfix quick build.
Oh, is it one of them Lego-y type things?
Yeah, it's one of the Lego.
If it's one of those, it looks mint.
Yeah, it looks good for you.
Yeah, it's fantastic little.
Is it actually painted, or is it just how it comes?
No, it's a colour plastic. It all comes to bits, sort of Lego type style, and it's a cracking little kit. We built it in an afternoon.
Oh wow! That was one you just like put together and painted. So the fact that it's not even been painted, that is quite impressive.
That's a cracking little kit. As I've always said, if you want to get your kids introduced into modelling, these are the sort of things you want. Yeah, you should be getting them. She wants a helicopter next. She wants the Apache helicopter. Why? I don't know. Yeah. She's done the camper vans and she's done the Volkswagen Beetle. And this was the first aeroplane. And it's fantastic. Yeah, it's good. So,
oh dear, we've lost him again.
Yeah, he's gone. Program over. Speedy Q8, being a lover of coffee, of course, makes a coffee analogy with the Army Painter brushes. He says, so sizing-wise, the Army Painter brushes are like the Starbucks of the takeaway coffee world. Instead of small, medium, and large, or number sizes, they have regular, grande, bellissimo, arrabbiato, vibrato, irregular, etc. Yeah, they've all got different names, basically.
Wait a minute, vibrato?
Yeah, irregular. I'm sure you couldn't get an irregular coffee. Can I have a vibrato with extra mocha, please?
That's a musical thing. That's not a coffee thing.
I know. I think he's being fun. I think he's having a bit of fun.
But he knows coffee. It might be a coffee thing as well.
I don't know. Is there such thing as an irregular?
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Having a regular with extra sugar.
There's a regular, so there should be an irregular. Yes.
Yes, but yes, they do go off names rather than. I mean, they like large and small dry brush, but some of them have got names.
So. What are we up to?
Spiddy also says the person looking in your window is one of the subscribers. They're going, "It's Ted. It really is him. Look."
Yeah, I found him.
Give me a sticker.
It wasn't the pizza delivery man. Yeah, I wonder if I can pay for pizzas when they arrive with stickers.
Ooh, yeah.
How many stickers you need?
Yeah, by the way, I do owe some people some stickers, both mine and eModels. I can't find them.
Hooray!
Yeah, I found the envelopes, but I can't find the stickers. The other day I had the stickers. I couldn't send them out because I couldn't find the envelopes.
I'll just send them the envelopes. It's fine. It works for Foxx.
Yeah, I did it once I sent an envelope out with no stickers in by accident.
Yeah, what I could do, I could send the envelope, leave it unsealed, and then blame the post office. Well, yeah, sorry, I did send them, but the stickers must have fallen out or pinched by the local post.
Spid says Vibrato is extra large and extra caffeine. It's named after the 2-hour buzz it gives you.
Oh yeah, coffee. I've got to tell you, I am suffering at the minute with this heat wave because I get up in the morning and I've got my big litre cup that I drink coffee out of, and I have a litre of coffee in the morning. It sounds terrible when I actually say it out loud with words. And then for the rest of the day, I'll drink water and I'll have a little coffee at 9 o'clock and then I'll go to bed. But because it's so hot in the mornings, I can't face a litre of coffee. I'm having like a normal sized cup of coffee and then I'm like, I can't. It's just. However, newsflash. Somebody sent me, one of my followers sent me a box of Barry's tea. It's an Irish tea. Box of Barry's tea bags. And Mum loved them, and I tried one. And even though I don't like tea, they were really nice. So you may see me drinking Barry's tea occasionally from now on. I know, it's like cats and dogs living together. It's not right.
Michael Jackman says, nah, the pizza people only take card or money. And he knows about pizza people.
Yeah. Well, I could try stickers, especially eModel stickers. Yeah,
do they not have written on, this sticker is 0.00001 pence equivalent or something?
Yeah, but yeah, we should have a gold eModel sticker. We'll have
Totally Scale Model says, right, guys, I'm off to bed. Have to be up at 4 a.m. to go to work in my hot and sweaty kitchen. Night, guys. Thanks.
Good night.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks for coming in. I just checked the emails.
Scale Model Vamp says, in terms of tea, I should try Rui Boys from tea from South Africa, Fox. Nice and sweet. Yeah. See, I'm not a big fan of tea. It's just this particular tea, this Barry's tea, was like, that's really nice. I didn't have to
maybe you just haven't found the right tea. You might like another tea.
Yeah, because normal tea, like Mum likes Tetley, and I've tried that, and Yorkshire tea.
Yorkshire tea. Yeah, don't worry, Yorkshire tea.
I like it, but this is like wow. So I should do some experiments.
Anyway, yes. Moving on to modelling stuff, we have a question from Dave Barker.
Hello, Dave.
Good evening, Dave. Says, evening, Ted, Fox, and the little fella.
Does he mention his boning tool?
Yeah. Who what?
Does he mention his boning tool?
No. Oh, no. Whether he's been boning today or not, we don't know.
If he's been at work, he will have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks we're being rude, but we're not.
It must be all right being a butcher because you can spend most of your time in a freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But then you spend most of your time with the raw meat that probably is a smell you really hate by the end of the month.
Yeah, you get used to it. Yeah, where are you off to, Dave? I'm just off to the freezer. Yeah, be back in an hour.
It'd be great in this weather anyway.
Yeah, just off to the freezer. Says, good evening, Ted, Fox, and the little fella. He's just got his Lindbergh 148 F18A Sabre kit. He built that 20 years ago. Not the same one, you've been waiting 20 years to build it. Is there a kit from our past that we would like to revisit? Is there anything in your past that you'd like to revisit?
No, not really.
When I first got back into the hobby, about 5 or 6 years ago, I dived straight back in by going to eModels, strangely enough, and getting a Tamiya Opel Blitz. Sorry, 2.25 ton cargo truck. Can't call an Opel Blitz, which I built when I was a kid, and a Kubelwagen, which I built when I was a kid. But if I was to rebuild a kit from my youth, it would have to be the first kit I ever actually properly painted, and that was the Tamiya 135th T62A tank. Because my dad said to me, I used to make models and just like glue them together and then play with them because I was a kid, and I didn't really know what I was doing, making them and playing with them. And he said, right, if you're going to do models, we're going to do it right. I'm going to take you to the model shop. We're going to get you some paints and a good kit, and we're going to brushes, and you're going to do it right. And I'm like, okay. And yeah, I made the T62A. That was my first proper model kit. So I'll probably redo that. When I was looking to get a kit for my next eModels build, I was actually looking at some of those, but I didn't get that one because it wouldn't have made much of a build series. It's not a particularly complicated model.
I remember I built kits as a kid, but I can't remember any particular kit that I built. I'm sure there was Spitfires and planes and things, but I don't recall any particular model as being, oh yeah, I did that one. And I've done planes and tanks and, you know, whatever, but there's none that actually stick in my mind.
I just had a thought. One that I did build was many years ago. I was in primary school at the time, so maybe mid sort of school. And it was Monty's.
You put a decade on it then, Ted. You nearly put a decade on it.
Yeah, we're going back to the black and white days. When everything was in black and white. And it was Monty's Hummer. Remember Monty's staff car? I think you can still get it. It's Tamiya one.
Right. Yeah, I think I've seen that one. It's an old. If you've still got it, it's an old vintage kit. If not,
yeah, it's a really old kit, and I remember. I think I painted it with one brush and one pot of green paint and Humbrol paint, and just slapped it on. Yeah, just even them days I was slapping it on.
So that's the difference in our generation, Ted. That when you started out, you were using Humbrol paints. When I started out, I was using Tamiya paints.
I was pretty sure I was using Airfix paints.
Airfix paints?
Yeah, they probably would have been Airfix paint. Yeah, Airfix. The same little tinlets, weren't they?
Just
like,
Airfix branding.
Yeah, just taller, weren't they? They were slightly thinner and taller, same content. Yeah, Airfix. I remember them. I remember them painting little glass jars as well. Only briefly. I don't think I used them, but I remember seeing them. Monty's Hummer. I think I'd like to rebuild that one again.
LD asks Ted, were the paints all black and white as well?
Yeah, the paints. Yeah, you could only get two shades. You could either get black or white.
Yeah.
Or if you mixed them, you could get grey. Yeah. So yeah, that was it. It wasn't much fun building and painting them days. It was black and white. So yeah, I think if I could have another go, I'd have a go at that one. Build it, make it properly. A bit of figure painting in it, and yeah.
They never used to be weathering, did they?
So no.
You just used to build your kit and paint it and put the decals on.
I did a little bit of weathering on my T62 because I think I had like before I did it, I had like a book of how to do models, and it was mostly, for some reason, mostly figures, but there was a section on armor, and it was a real big thick book on how to do the models. And the two things I remember was it had a very simple section about weathering, which basically taught me how to do dry brushing, which was just get black and do that. So it looked pretty bad by today's standards. But I also remember it had lots of photographs of like figures painted by the same modeler, not the author, but there's lots of these same guy's figures, and they're all like Napoleonic 1/6 scale figures. And for some reason, he had this habit that drove me nuts even then, where he did this beautifully painted figure, absolutely fantastic with all the Napoleonic outfit and the feathers, and it looked fantastic. And then when he painted the mouth was basically a bright pink shape like that. And I'm like, I was like 11, and I'm like, what the hell is that? This like bright pink, like he just got the lipstick and gone.
It's the clown division. That's what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I never got that. It ruined every model. It said, here's another model by this guy. And I'm like, wow, that looks terrible because of the mouth. Never got that.
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, obviously, internet wasn't around in them days, and your only sort of advice you could get was game by books.
Yep.
And I remember Airfix bringing out a series of books. They were only something like that big, really thin books, and they showed you in them. There was one on ships and one on tanks. I particularly got the one on ships. And when you built them, there wasn't any photographs of a guy putting things together or painting or anything. It was line drawings.
Yeah.
So there was really no detail or anything.
I mean, the book I had was like line drawings, or it'd be like an article on, say, because the book I had, when it was talking about weathering, it was literally dry brushing, and that was kind of it. This was like mid-80s. Jimenez and all these other techniques that are now the norm. It had like oil paints and how to use oil paints, but it was really quite basic. So I didn't learn a lot from that book, but I did, like I say, I did a bit of dry brushing with some metal color and some black. And at the time, it probably looked quite good. But now, if I got it now, I'd be like, wow. I was quite pleased with it.
But as Chris said, when I'm slightly older than you, but when I was building them, no, there wasn't any weathering then. It wasn't even a word.
Mm. Yeah, it was just like you always looked at the picture in the Tamiya magazine, like, how is this even done? Because nobody actually explained anywhere how to do weathering.
If you wanted your kit to look like you had, worn and knackered, you left it outside for a day.
Yeah,
come back and see what it looks like.
That was it. You used to build them, paint them, take them outside, and shoot them with your air pistol.
Yeah, or like my brother did, make like a Red Arrows plane, and then put a rocket in the back and go like that. Although he did the same thing with the Stuka, which kind of broke the immersion, really. But there you go. GB's Model Zone, Gordon over at GB's Model Zone says, "Watch out, Fox! One might wing its way to you." I don't know what we're talking about now. And he thinks that Monty's Hummer was an Airfix kit.
It could have been, actually, yeah, because I probably hadn't discovered Tamiya then. Probably Tamiya wasn't a thing then.
Yeah, I don't really know when Tamiya became a thing outside of, well, in England, it might have been in the sort of late 70s, early 80s, I think.
In England, in the 80s, I had a Tamiya radio-controlled car.
Yeah.
And that was my first...
Which one did you have, Chris? Which one did you have?
I had Hot Shot.
Oh, I had the Frog, but I always kind of fancied the Hot Shot.
Hot Shot was good, but I kept wearing out the wheels, so I had to get replacement wheels for it, because you just go start full speed, and the wheels spin, and all the little blobs wear off of them.
Well, I used to love my Frog, but the thing I hated was that you had the wheels with the little not servos, but the little like cogwheel that controls the wheel movement, and those little cogs were made of soft plastic. So every time it was for the tracking. So every time you hit something, the wheels would, the cog would slip, and you'd be driving along in a straight line with the wheels, and you have to go and adjust it every time. It's like, oh, could they not have made those out of metal?
Yeah.
Philly says, I only built 2 models as a kid and didn't paint them: a Tamiya tank, possibly a Chieftain, and a Tamiya Tomcat.
Lynn says, my first kit back in 1978 was a Fokker triplane. I didn't paint it, so it was the Blue Baron.
Yeah, I think I had that kit. Speedy Curate says, Hart, that's nothing. We used to have to hunt our own styrene and create our own pigments from crushed beetles and paints and plants even.
Oh no, we never. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't that old. It was at the time when you used to paint your body blue as well. Yeah.
Paul C. Tommaso would like to revisit the Horizon Wolverine vinyl kit. Somebody said somewhere, and I can't find the comment now. Somebody used to make the Aurora horror kits, but I can't see the comment as to who it was.
I can't remember that one either. Yeah.
Poop Cat, I like that name. Poop Cat says, mine were the Hornet and the Sand Scorcher. Welcome, Poop Cat. Not seen you in chat before.
It was Zadster that used to love doing the Aurora horror film.
Oh, that's it. I knew somebody did. GB's Model Zone says T64A Monty's Hummer was 1/32 FX.
Yeah, could have been right. Yeah,
I think God means he's sending me a T62. Cool. It was a T62.
Sphinx Rules says, hi guys from Roswell, New Mexico.
You're going to get all the questions. You're going to get all the questions now. If you're living in Roswell, have you been to the alien? Yes, you probably have.
He's not allowed to answer.
Have you sat and looked through binoculars at Area 51 over the fence and watched the guys watching you back? Because you live in Roswell, you're going to go and have a look, aren't you? There's no way you can live in Roswell and not go and have a look. Or maybe, for all we know, maybe he actually works there, but he can't tell us.
Yeah.
Maybe he's an alien.
Maybe he gets on that. Maybe he gets on that bus that goes in, and he wouldn't be able to tell us.
Yeah, I could tell you this: it's not a name I recognise.
But I'll tell you what, mate. You can tell us because nobody's watching anyway. You're not on the internet or anything. It's perfectly confidential. Give us an inside. We won't tell anyone, honest.
Have you ever gone up to the fence and where it says "Do not cross this line" and reached out with your foot, put your foot over it?
He actually says, "Yes, I went last year. Get in." Did big burly men in like sunglasses approach you and tell you to leave?
Dark suit, sunglasses.
Lynn Dipple is just south in Carlsbad, so just south of Sphinx.
Yeah, I've just got the chat up. It's by the time I get chat up, it all zooms up because I've.
Michael Jackman says Monty Sombra is an Airfix kit and it's being re-released as part of their classic range, Ted, which means eModels will get it in stock. By the way, eModels have had a big shipment of Airfix recently, and it includes a lot of the old classic kits that they're re-releasing. So if you fancy getting some of these old kits from Airfix, there's quite a few in stock.
Zedster says, I think Airfix is re-releasing everything it can to generate cash.
Yes.
Well, you get the rights to make it, you might as well re-release it.
It's kind of one of those things you look at it and think, it's a good thing they're doing it, but is it a bad thing they're doing it because they're desperate for money that they need to re-release all the really old kits? They're doing it because it's cool, or they're doing it because they really need the money?
Yeah, but perhaps we should all go retro, but perhaps you should step back in time to realise how bad or how much of a struggle it was to build models back then.
Yeah, because you didn't know anything. You weren't told about gap filling and seam filling and fixing mismolds or anything like that. You had no frame of reference. You just glued stuff together.
Just go on with it.
Yeah. Ken Sturrock says Hysterex models.
Hysterex.
Mike Hornsey says, does that make Ted a classic?
I'm a classic. Yeah, look at this grey. Yeah.
Ted's got the Coke bottle curves and everything.
Yeah, I remember trying to fill gaps in Airfix seams with paint. You know, thinking that if you slapped a bit more paint on, a bit more thickly, it would fill the gap.
Lynn Dipple says she went to Roswell a few months ago. And Gordon at GB's Model Zone confirms it's Tickaboo Peak is the name I was looking for, the hill where you can look over and see.
Ah, right.
Tickaboo Peak.
Yeah. But yeah, is Roswell real, or is it just, did they take you to a separate bit?
It's a real place.
Yeah, I know it's a real place, but do they take you to a bit where they show you things that you expect to see? You know, is there lots of doors marked strictly no entry and things like that?
Like the Area 51 theme park.
Yeah.
If you were taken anywhere by somebody from Area 51, it would be to a prison cell, I think, or you'd get rendition and never be seen again.
Oh, and is there a big long shaft where you walk through a door and then
shaft?
Yeah, 20 minutes later you're 200 feet underground and another door opens and it's a long steel corridor with guys in black suits stood at every door.
Yeah, it's all aliens, dude. It's all aliens.
Yeah, check your pass every 10 yards. Somebody stops and checks your pass.
Yeah, and every time you walk past one of the guys, he kind of goes like that. Says something to his shirt collar.
Yeah, video cameras turning around and watching you as you walk past.
Michael Jackman says he built the kit he wanted from the past, the C-130 Hercules and Bloodhound. Now he wants a monogram B-36. Matthew Birtle says he's been to the Little Alien in Roswell. They serve really English teas. Ooh. You can get a cup of Yorkshire tea in Roswell, New Mexico.
All right. There's sorry, the chat's probably moving quicker than I could see it, but I did see a question from Spruglo Addict. He says, what's the quickest way to clean an airbrush between paint changes? Just usually, what I do is just fill a cup with airbrush cleaner, spray it through, and then you're ready to go for the next one. But you start with your lighter colours first, and then work up to your darker colours, so that if you do get a bit of paint mix, you're not going to get too much. Yeah, spray out some cloth or paper. Just make sure your colour's gone. If you're using the UMP airbrush cleaner, just get a nice blue spray coming through, and you're good to go.
Yeah, you don't need to be stripping it down, because all you're really doing is flushing out whatever colour's in there and getting the new colour in. So as soon as you just get, paint, as soon as you've got just the cleaner fluid coming through, so it's either clear or blue if it's UMP, you're good to go with the next colour. Or it depends what you're doing. Sometimes if I'm doing a paint job and it's going to be something scruffy and battered and beaten, and I'm not doing anything like stripes or anything with masking, it's going to be like patches of colour. Like if I'm doing, when I did the diorama for my skitter, it's just shades of brown for the earth. I didn't actually clean it out between. I just literally put the paint in, sprayed some brown, tipped the paint away, wiped it out with a tissue, put the next brown in, sprayed it for a second until the old brown became the new brown, and just carried on. So if you're doing something like a vehicle or that's very carefully painted, yeah, just give it a quick flush. But if you're doing something like that, like terrain or something, just tip it out and put the new colour in. It doesn't matter if you mix and match.
No, sorry, just shutting the doors over there. Yeah.
Hey, does it mean there's a chance that model making chicken might come in now you're in the house?
No, she would have gone to bed by now. But she's also taken. I know that some of you have seen a picture of the chicken looking through the kitchen window, stood on the windowsill. She now takes to coming in the window. Who was it? The guy that was around fitting some blinds the other day. Opened the window, the chicken just hopped through the window and came in that way.
It's not the window just above the oven, is it?
No, yeah, straight in the kitchen. Yeah, it's nice and warm in there. Hop in. Yeah.
Matthew Birtles clarifies, because I misread his comment. The little alien in Roswell don't serve really British teas; they serve all British teas. I must go there, even though I don't like tea. Michael Jackerman says 2 of the best sci-fi models are the Moonbus from 2001 and the Chariot from Lost in Space by Mobius.
I don't know either of them. I do apologise.
You must know Lost in Space.
Lost in Space. Danger, Will Robinson.
Let's
have a look, see what else chat is doing.
Sprigler Alex says, cheers, guys. You're legends. You've all helped me so much over the last few months. That's what
we'll get the invoice out to you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Alan from Northwest Modeler says, at least we can make proper tea in Yorkshire, and follows it up with, I am from Yorkshire. I think of all the teas that I've had, I like the Barry's tea. I think Yorkshire tea is probably about as the nicest one I've had. But I'm not a big tea drinker, so it's exactly in PG and all that stuff. They're just horrible. Yorkshire tea is bad, but Barry's tea, wow, that's
without getting into speciality teas, it's a good off-the-shelf tea.
Oh yeah. I just mean like, you get a box from the corner shop. I don't mean special things in tea temples and all that kind of stuff.
Right. I'm still waiting for some questions for you guys out there. ted@emodels.co.uk.
Don't forget, you can send us a question and answer to using the giveaway section, because that means we don't have to then try and come up with a question.
I do have a question already from Gerwin, which we'll save and we'll use it afterwards, which is quite a good question for what we've been talking about.
David Moores brings up a kit that I remember building, which was the shuttle Tidirium from Star Wars. I remember making that. It was a brilliant kit. By brilliant, I mean it didn't go together very well, but it looked fantastic.
That's it. I couldn't say that word. Good job you read it out. The shuttle Tidirium.
Tidirium, yeah.
Yeah, it's either Tidirium or Tidirium. I always pronounced it Tidirium, but it could be either way. It's Star Wars, Ted. You wouldn't.
No. Well, I went to the hospital with a wife today. And I had my Weird Fish Star Trek t-shirt on it, which is sort of a play on pictures from Star Trek. And somebody said, "Oh, I'm a Star Trek fan. Have you seen such and such an episode?"
And you're like,
no, it's not
that really. With the thing from the man with the and they'll be, yeah, that's the one. Brilliant.
So I sort of I couldn't enter into conversation about anything with him because I didn't know anything about Star Trek.
Phil Kett asks, he's just done a heavy oil gunk wash on something. How long do I have to wait before a matte varnish? It depends how heavy you went.
To be safe, at least 5 days.
Heavy oil? How heavy? Is it wipe on, wipe off?
Yeah, I mean, there's only one way of gunk wash, and that's get the paint, slap it on, rub it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, with anything like that, at least 5 days. Keep it covered up for dust. Don't put it in a sealed container because it won't cure. I tend to put mine in like a plastic tub, but have the plastic tub propped up a little bit so air can get in. But keep it covered up for dust and leave it for at least 5 days.
Does the current temperature lessen the time you can leave it a bit?
It might do, but I'd still just leave it for 5 days.
Not normal.
Just to be safe.
Spray paints dry really, really quick, but I don't know if it makes a difference to oil paints that the heat.
If I remember rightly, and I could be wrong, if I remember rightly, oil paints don't work by evaporation. It's worked by more of a chemical process.
No, so it's not going to make so much difference.
Yeah, it might speed up a bit. But yeah, just to play it safe, just assume 5 days.
He says quite thick, but rubbed most of it off.
Yeah.
So it's still going to be
in the crevices and stuff. 5 days at least. I tend to leave it for 5. Sometimes I leave it for a couple of weeks just because I do something else. Whenever I do anything that involves a gunk wash, I kind of plan ahead, and I know that I'm going to have to leave that gunk wash for a while. So especially if I'm doing like a video build and I do a gunk wash and I'm stuck for a week, so I'll tend to do the gunk wash bit and have other stuff to do in the meantime. So I'm not just sitting around on my butt for 5 days. So 5 days, longer if you can, but at least 5 days.
Oh, what? Good.
Genius Model Zone throws a cat amongst pigeons and says, which is best, tea or coffee?
Oh,
Tea.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Tea. Yeah, coffee's American. It's an import.
Yeah, tea's more refreshing.
Coffee's American. Tea's Chinese, sort of, and Indian.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's English.
All the tea fields that used to like be in all the countryside in England in the 15th century.
Yeah, that's back gardens.
This American nonsense. We want our Indian and Chinese tea. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Coffee.
Coffee. We don't want any of this imported rubbish.
Lynn Dipple says Dr. Pepper if he had to. Tea, she says.
Oh no, I can't stand Dr. Pepper. It's like medicine.
I love it.
I haven't had it for a while. I think I might have to try a bit and see if I still like it.
I had it for the first time about 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know why I'd never had it before. And I was like, oh, I need to buy like 12 cans of this and drink them all straight away.
There's several drinks that I used to have that I haven't had for a while, like Tizer.
Yeah, I never liked Tizer.
I haven't had Tizer for ages.
Lucozade either.
Lucozade has gone horrible now. It used to be really nice, but they changed the sugar content or whatever everything is that they've been doing. And it tastes really chemical. It's horrible.
Tizer's just south of the border Iron Brew.
Pretty much, yeah.
One for you here, Ted. Jamie Bowen says, Ted, if Skylar wants to build Lego kits of World War II and later aircraft and vehicles, she should try Kobe. It's a Polish version of Lego, but it's really good.
No, I've never heard of them. No, I'll look out for it.
Lego don't do real world armies.
Yeah, it's not so much that she's particularly to World War II or anything like that. She just likes building these Lego kits, and there's just sort of a limited version. Limited range available of them at the moment, so
I think she likes it because it doesn't look like Lego. It looks like a proper model as well.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good stuff. Nice.
Spruce Surgeons just turned up. Says hello all.
Hey, dude.
Hey.
And, Andy Butcher says about the oil paint. He says sniff it. If it still smells noticeably of oil paint, it's not ready yet.
Or you could get a cotton bud and very gently go over an area and see if you get much coming off on the cotton bud. If you get a lot coming off on the cotton bud, it's not ready. If it's still shiny, if you get like a tiny amount, you can get away with it, but maybe just leave it a bit longer.
Yeah. That's the part of our hobby, really, isn't it? Patience. It's always it's always good if you're doing a gunk wash to have something else on the go as well, so that you're not just sat around.
I mean, people have asked me a few times. I've not done a gunk wash on anything for a long time, and it's like, because when I've been doing the builds, there's not been anything else I can be doing in the meantime. And if I'm filming a build, I don't want to sit around for 5 or 6 days waiting. So I've kind of avoided it a bit because I need to keep filming. So I've not abandoned them. It's not practical sometimes when you're trying to make a show. So
Sprue Blue Addict has a question. It says, which film scared you when you were too young to be watching it? His was American Werewolf in London while he was 9. He shouldn't have been watching that.
I remember American Werewolf in London. I remember seeing the film. I didn't particularly think it was frightening, but no, I wasn't that young.
I was never really into horror films, so I didn't really watch them. So,
I think what did used to scare me was Doctor Who. It wasn't so much a film, but the more of the series, the Doctor Who, the Daleks.
You used to hide behind the sofa.
Yeah, it wasn't so much the Daleks, but it was some of the other monsters. Long before the Cybermen and things like that, it was when it was guys in rubber suits. You could see their eyes through it and the mouth. You could cut them bits out. Some of them left me sort of not wanting to go to bed after the episode had finished and things like that, leaving the light on and listening to every knock and bang throughout the house.
See, I was never really. I don't like Chris. I don't do horror movies. They just bore me because I know it's a movie, and even as a kid, I was like, it's not real. So it just bored me. But I was a parent. I'm advised that when I was much younger, I used to run out of the room screaming if Grange Hill came on. Maybe I just really didn't like school, and being reminded of it was something I didn't like.
So I do remember watching a couple of episodes of the I can't remember the name of it now. The Tales of the Unexpected.
Oh, the best worst theme tune ever that program had.
But a couple of episodes of that sort of stick to my memory.
Well, it's all right. I thought you were going to say you were frightened of Rent-A-Ghost then. But
Rent-A-Ghost was great. Rent-A-Ghost. With the one that couldn't quite get the hang of going through the walls and disappearing.
Yeah, but that was back again. That was down to the original series. Once again, the BBC remade it, and it was.
Did they? Oh, I don't want to know about that.
Yeah, it wasn't the same characters in it, and it just became rubbish. Yeah, but that was the time. It's around about the time I was at school.
Equilou5 says The Exorcist. Watched most of the film with my eyes closed. Does that count as watching a film with your eyes closed?
Yeah, that was the time when you had to go to the pictures to see a film because you couldn't get it on video or anything like that. I think that was before video recorders. Yeah, I remember watching that one.
Yeah. There's a comment there. Somebody said something and it's just moved. James Tapman says, oh no, that's something else. Spruglo Addict says Rent-A-Ghost was awesome. And then he says one of the characters was called Miss Popoff. And I was like, yep, that's one of the names.
Yeah, that's it.
Wasn't the jester called Walpole or something?
Yeah, was it
Claypole? Mr. Claypole, that was it.
Yeah.
Mr. Claypole, that's it, yeah.
It was Harold. Harold was the bloke that had the house or something. Sheepskin coat, Rent-A-Ghost. Mike Mountain, Dad, of course, says Sally James.
Sally James.
What, used to give him nightmares or what? Hey?
I never had nightmares about Sally James.
It can't be an eModels live stream without the Sally James being mentioned.
He now says Diane Rigg as well.
Yeah.
Ryan Riley asks Fox, can I panel line a Gundam if I'm doing a mostly black paint scheme? You can, but you're very limited. You could try and do if it's a black paint scheme, you could try and do like when you get some of the special titanium finish Gunpla kits and they have like the black, but then they have like a silver panel lining in it. It looks fantastic.
It might go quite well.
Well, it looks fantastic when you get the special titanium finish kits. When I've tried to do it, it comes like kind of looking like ass. So if you're going to try something like a silver panel line, do some practice first on like the inside of a part or a spare bit you don't need, just because it's actually quite hard to get exactly right. The other thing it might be worth doing is actually not painting it black. It might be an option to, instead of painting it black, just paint it a very dark grey. Because once you paint something black, that's it. You can't there's nothing you can do to it. You can't put any shading on it. You can't darken any areas because you can't get more black than black. The only thing you can do is anything that adds highlights, like dry brushing and highlight and edge highlighting. So it might be worth having a think whether you want to do it black or just do it a dark grey, because that then gives you the scope to have things like black panel lines or dark blue panel lines that are darker than the dark grey. And also things like shading round edges and in recesses, so you can get some depth to it. Because if you paint it black, it's just black. There's no shadowing or shading or any depth to it, and it can look fantastic, but it depends what you're looking for. But have a think. The only real colour you can panel line is silver. You could potentially do a brown panel line, but it looks a bit weird. So I would, if you've got like a spare bit on the kit, if it's got like a spare piece of shoulder arm or something with some panel lines on it, have a play with it and just try some different colours.
We should be able to get some of that Vanta black, the really black.
Oh god, yeah,
that'd be quite useful.
Yeah, it's only like 25 grand a pot or something. Just have a think. It's better to not actually go straight for black. Just paint something a dark grey, and because then you've got somewhere to work from. You can go lighter and you can go darker. If you're just going for black, you can only go lighter than black.
What you could try and do as well is obviously go for the darker greys, the very dark blacks, greys, tyre blacks, things like that, and then you can filter them, put brown, even silver filters over them, just to change the tones of it. That could be one way.
I mean, whenever I need to do something black, it's mostly been on some of my tabletop miniatures and stuff. But if I need to paint something black, like say rubber hosing, like I did on the skitter that I built for eModels, you've got an aerial on the back and there's a little rubber hosing bit on the back, and the same for the tires. I didn't paint them black. I painted them almost essentially a bit of a light German grey, but then I went over them with a black ink, a thin down black ink to make a wash, and I just did a few coats of the black ink, and that collected in the recesses and darkened the whole thing down. So by the end of it, you've got this So you've got the whip antenna with the little rubber shoe at the end of the antenna where it meets the metal part of the antenna box. It's a very, very dark grey, but in the recesses, it's kind of black. But because I did the black shading as a wash on the raised bits, like the edge of the ridges of the rubber shoe, it's kind of it's the original light grey because the wash moves away from the edges and collects in the recesses. So that way, I've not just painted it black. I've got this nice thing that's got light grey, it's got a medium grey colour, a dark grey colour, and a black colour all in the same piece. And that's just by painting it a grey and then doing some black washes. So you can have fun with it if you start from, say, a German grey or maybe something a bit lighter than a German grey. Just to start with, like maybe I'm trying to find something that's a similar colour. I can't see anything, but let's say like these Tamiya scissors, like that kind of grey, which doesn't really show on camera, like a medium grey, because you can darken it as much as you want. If you do it with washes, you'll still have the raised highlights where the raised bits are. It may not work on a gunpla where you've got a flat panel with panel lines, but if you're painting something else, it's the way to go. I tend never to use black much at all.
Yeah. As I say, try it all out, and try some filters as well. Try some blue filters, try some orange ones. Orange would be quite good on black.
Piddlehead says rubber black.
Yeah, rubber tire black. To be a NATO. No, it's NATO green. No, is there a NATO?
There's a NATO black. Yeah.
Michael Jackman says he used grey primer on the Black Widow. Was suggested by Foxx because he was painting the Black Widow, and I said, don't just paint it black because then it's just black.
Tony Blackwell just turned up. He says he's late.
Yay! Everybody's asking what's in store.
Yeah, Michael Jackman says, "Hey Ted, what have you chosen in store this week?" Well, you can't do what's in store till you get your pizza.
Yeah, where's your pizza?
It's traditional.
We only know it's what's in store time when the pizza's arrived.
Yeah.
Still waiting.
Spruce Surgeon says, going back to washes, Spruce Surgeon suggests trying inks if you've got the confidence. Yeah, you can make your own washes with inks. Inks are great for doing that kind of thing. When I did the skitter, I used inks.
I must try inks myself. I've never got around to trying working with inks. It's always something.
They're very easy to use. It's a bit like if you've used Citadel's normal oil, it's basically, that's what an ink is. It's just if you use an actual ink, and you can just use normal artist's ink, or if you use some of the Vallejo inks, the thing to keep in mind is they have a very, very dense pigment. The pigment is so dense that if you just put it on the model neat, it might come out looking a bit terrible. You kind of need to thin them to make them into washes. And really what you want to add to them is you can add water, but it's not ideal. And we've had this conversation before about breaking down the acrylic binders in those kind of products. I would say if you're going to thin them, you need to thin them to do them as a wash or just to use them in general. Add either a glaze medium, so something like Citadel have got their Lamian medium, Vallejo do their own glaze mediums. They're basically paints without any pigment in, they're just clear paints. So you're not really thinning the ink, you're just diluting it. You're making it more dilute and it'll still behave the way it should do. Or you can use Pledge Floor Care Finish 2 times more shine, or Pledge Multi-Surface Wax Future/Clear, whatever you want to call it. That's been used for a long time to thin inks and make washes. It's called a magic wash. But yeah, use something acrylic like a glaze medium, an artist glaze medium, the Vallejo one or the Citadel one. Thin it with that, and then you just apply it like a wash. And it's quite a good way. Artist inks, there's a lot more dense pigment than paints. So a black ink wash will give you much deeper blacks than a black paint wash, if that makes sense.
Right.
Michael Jackman says no pizza this week. Still full up from burgers at the pub barbecue on Saturday. Hangover just gone.
Banned.
Yeah.
You can't not have a pizza.
No, I reckon in this weather though, nobody's had a proper meal. It's all been barbecues.
I know. It's all been salad stuff for me. I can't believe it's. You do know that people only watch this show to find out what you're having on your pizza.
It could be a barbecue pizza.
Show now. We've got to finish now. There's no point.
No
point going on now, is there at all?
Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.
Michael Jackman, you're fired. Let me know when you want to do what's in the store, Tedward, and I shall press some buttons.
Yeah, should we go and have a look at what's in store?
Yeah, let's have a look what's in store.
That gives people a chance to send in the questions for the giveaways. So they can be doing that.
This gives my mum a chance to go and do the washing up, because she always goes into the washing up with this bits on.
Yeah, I've only got one question for the giveaway so fast, so that's a sticker to give away. Still need a question for maybe the mug or a sticker.
David Moore says, Foxx, the tooth is primed, and I'm just waiting for some white spray can.
Yes, for those who don't know, David Moore's last week won the 8-to-1 scale human tooth that we gave away as a prize. And I think he was actually secretly quite excited because he's like, so we've asked him to make sure he posts up on the eModels page and puts it in the eModels gallery. This is human tooth, because we all want to see how it comes out.
Yeah.
So well done, David. We're glad you're enjoying the dumbest thing we've ever given away.
Yes, you never know what could get given away on these.
Well, there is that. Right, shall I press some buttons then, Ted?
Yeah, it kind of needs a bit of cooperation this week, isn't it? And the sort of getting things together and things like that. So I'll have to say click, and you can put on the next.
Yes, you can do the talking. Let me know when you want to do the screen shareage.
Right.
Don't share Ted's screen, because
you don't know.
Don't look on Ted.
Yeah, we don't know what Ted's got going on there. That's not.
I'll just sit quietly and watch, because I don't know what's in store this week. So
yeah, it's going to be a surprise for Chris this week as well. Yeah, I tried to think of a theme this week, but the first one I couldn't think of a theme, so I thought it was quite good to have a look at anyway. So let's go and have a screen share and show you what's in store from eModels.
Ready?
Go.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
I was flicking through looking at things for my topic this week, but this is a little bit off topic because we're going back to Roswell, really, aren't we, and things like that. This is Piranha Super Spy Car. I thought a fantastic little model. This is from AMT.
If you remember your Man from Uncle.
Yeah, I had a little. I couldn't think what it was from at first, and then I think Foxx did some research and found out it was from the Man from Uncle. And
just they've got like the font. They've used a Euro style, but it's the perfect font for like 1960s spy type stuff. Sorry, that's my font geek kicking in. Sorry.
Yeah, it's got the DeLorean style gull wing doors, and this is a re-release from AMT. Now I don't know how long it's been out. Some of you guys know a little bit more about it than I do.
Do you want me to read out the blurb? Because you probably
could read that out because I can't see it.
It says, after more than 40 years of not being available, the Piranha CRV Super Spy Car is back in action. Basically a re-release of the original AMT kit. They've retooled some parts, but it's kind of a vintage classic kit, and they've retooled some of the bits. It's got clear and optional smoke-tinted windows, pad-printed tyres on both sides, red line, Goodyear, blue line. Newly developed decal sheet for Piranha Road Racer, a 12-page vintage photo booklet of the 1-to-1 scale car from the show, an original art print of vintage box illustration included, and some retooled parts. So if you've in your youth made some AMT cars, and at the end of the day, it's just a good-looking car. I like this.
Yeah, David Moores and Lord Barclay thinking it's from the UFO series. It looks a little bit like Straker's car. Yeah, it does look like Straker's car, but I believe that it's from Man from Uncle.
Yes, right? Man from Uncle.
Yeah, I remember Man from Uncle. What was the guy? What was the blonde?
Ilya Kuryakin.
And the other guy.
Napoleon Solo.
Yeah, good job I didn't have to type that. Yeah, but they do look. There was a load of them about that time. Weren't they all futuristic-looking cars, gull wing doors?
Well, this one isn't quite as futuristic as the cars from UFO. This is kind of like a slightly futuristic from the 90s. It's got a hint of E-Type to it, with a bit more of like the gull wing nonsense going on. The UFO ones are much more kind of what they thought the future would be.
I like these cars. We were promised flying cars by now. Where's my flying car?
Why am I not wearing a silver suit and eating all my meals as a pill?
Pressing a button, a little hatch opens in the wall, and your dinner's a 2 tablets.
Tony Blackwell says no wing mirrors, because when you're a spy, you don't need wing mirrors.
Yeah,
because you press the button that releases the oil or the caltrops, and the other guy just.
It wouldn't need wing mirrors because it'll have had cameras, rear-facing cameras, and things like that, self-parking.
Matt Bradford says hello.
Just turned up. Yeah.
Sorry. Go on, Chris. You would.
That's right. I just said Matt Bradford just turned up. Said hello, folks. Better totally late than never.
Yeah, you just come in when we started doing what's in store, so you've not missed anything yet.
This was the first thing when it was in store, so you're okay. You haven't missed anything yet.
Yeah, you've had an hour of nonsense, an hour of just waffle and nonsense, and then we actually got to the good stuff now. So.
I must admit, like Jerry Anderson and everybody else, they had some fantastic ideas for modern cars, some of which has been adapted and in use today. Sat navs, trackers, What else? Yeah, rear-facing cameras, and all the rest of it. Yeah, it's all they were forward-thinking guys. But that's it. If you want a special kit, if you're into cars, anything like that, get yourself onto the eModels site and slap it in your basket.
Slap it in your basket. As we always say, don't forget, folks, we don't know how many of these are in stock of these kits, and we are told by eModels every week that when we show stuff on what's in store, they get sold because people go, oh, and they buy it. So if you fancy anything that we show, don't hang around, get it in your basket, and remember, it's not yours till you've paid for it. So if you wait to the end of the show and then go to your basket, somebody may have bought it. Yeah. So if you really want something, get in your basket and order it while you're watching the show. That way you can guarantee there is, because we don't know how many of these they have in stock.
Yeah, don't forget to check it out. Well, that's it. This is AMT. There can't be many of these about. So if you want it, if you like it, get it quick.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's next? Next one?
What's next? Next one? Yep.
Next one is...
Oh, yes. I thought a topic this week could be holidays, sea, sun and sand. And what could be more holidays than a luxury yacht?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is Pete's luxury. This is modelled on Pete's luxury yacht, a little bit smaller, not too much smaller.
It's half the size.
This is half size. Yeah, this is half size to Pete's 3-foot yacht. But this is the Sunseeker. I think any of you guys down at the south coast there, Sunseeker's a local marine building company down there. I
don't know. Could be.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I can't afford a yacht.
You're rubbish, aren't you?
Yeah, I've seen one. I've had one. Yeah. Yeah, but that's it. It looks like it's got all bags of detail on this.
I've never built a Revell boat. I've built the Revell U-boat, which was quite a nice kit to put together. Some molding issues, but you've built some of the tugs and stuff, haven't you, Chris? Have you done some Revell boats, Ted?
No, no, I don't think I have actually. Is this one a Revell? I didn't look at it.
Yeah. I seem to have heard on the grapevine the boat kits are actually pretty good.
Yeah,
the tugs aren't bad. They're not they're not perfect, but they're fine. Yeah,
but that's kind of a mint-looking boat. It's rather mint that.
Yeah. So yeah, look, it looked nice. This a nice shiny boat. Sunseekers are usually a white and a navy blue. Yeah. Navy blue bottoms to them. Quite sort of top of the market type boats out there. This is the Predator 108. 108 usually denotes the length.
There is some information. It says it's a 32-meter long luxury yacht, topping all superlatives. It says.
There was always a rumor. I was always told that the price of a yacht is you're paying £1 million for a luxury yacht.
Oh yeah.
Zadster says it's very Miami Vice.
I got that music in my head already before he said that. It says it's a 2-part hull with the bow thruster. Deck includes wooden structure and many other details. Upper deck has a complete representation of interior details, main saloon and cockpit. Fully detailed bar at the stern. Ted will be adding little gin bottles to that.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Faithfully reproduced windlasses, tinted windows, faithfully reproduced radar unit, 3 fully detailed harness and surface drives, and a display stand.
Yeah, this is a kit I've never actually seen built. I've seen it on the eModels site, but I've never actually seen anybody build one.
If anybody wants to work out 32 meters in 1/72 scale, that'll tell you how long it is.
Yeah,
how big a model it is. Looks pretty mint though. I'm quite impressed by that. I'd have to weather it up and turn it on Mad Max, so it'd be no use to me.
Yeah, yeah. Or you could really do it painted matte black. Yeah, make it look really cool. Yeah.
And look, there's the bar, Ted. Look, see, there's the bar. There's your gin. There's the gin corner. I mean, the bar.
Yeah, it was stocked full of gin. Runs on gin. Yeah, you can drink it or put it in the engines.
Just think, somewhere in the world right now is a real person sitting on the real version of that, having a beverage at that bar in real life,
in the sunshine. Maybe they're watching.
I don't know.
Maybe they're watching the eModels live stream.
Maybe they are. You never know.
Yeah. So there, that's another one. Slap it in your basket.
Yeah, slap it in the basket.
Remind you of your holidays in the Mediterranean. It's not a bad price either. 25 quid.
25 quid. Still not bad. That. Yeah. Next one. Let me know when you're ready.
Next one.
Next slide, please.
Yes.
I don't know what this is, but it looks mint. I like that.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I thought that was you, Fox. I thought it was a model of you.
I wouldn't wear that kind of hat, but yeah, that could be me.
Wait a minute. Who chose this one?
These are all Ted's.
Yeah, these are mine. These are mine this week because I was thinking of sun, sea, sand, holidays, things like that. The Ravel Monogram 125th Surfite with figure.
I want that little car. Is that a real little car? Is that a real car? Does that car actually exist?
There's some pictures of it. It does say pre-colored. So whether that's the color of the plastic or it's ready, or the figure is ready built.
Is that car just designed to have that surfboard attached to the side of it?
Yeah, it's called the Surfite. I think it is just a surfboard transportation device.
Oh dear.
I want one. I don't know why I want one, but I want one. And I also like the fact it's got a Rat Fink T-shirt as well.
Yeah, it says it's actually, if you read the blurb, it says it's actually modelled on a particular person. Some of the guys out there might know who it is.
Okay. Does it say? Tool down to the beach in your Surfite. Set up your tiki hut, sack out, and wait for the big one. This perfect set of wheels for the Supreme Surfer Dude, and it comes with the tiki hut and a figure of Big Daddy Ed Roth himself. Wherever you are, the sand and surf calls to you, then this model is for you. Kit features pre-painted Ed Roth figure, tiki surf hut, and 3 surfboards.
Michael Jackman says, I thought Ted picked these.
He did.
You were waiting for something good from Ted, but no.
I want one of those little cars. I need to know if they're real, and if they are, can I have one, please?
You couldn't get much shopping in if you went to Tesco, could you?
I don't do shopping. I just press some buttons on my computer and things turn up. Someone send me one of those little Surfite cars, and I'll be your best mate forever.
Yeah. So there you are. Another great price for a great bit of fun there. The Ravel Monogram 125th Surfite with figure.
Yeah.
$22.49. Have a bit of fun with that. Yeah, a nice little diorama on a sandy beach.
I would be compelled to put googly eyes on the Surfite.
Right.
You mean the model or a real one?
Both. If it was a real one, I'd put headlights on it and I'd give the headlight the eyelashes. No, I wouldn't do that. I'd just give it googly eyes.
I think you look good in one of them down Macclesfield High Street.
I'll put shark mouth on it, of course.
Right, let's get serious. Let's have a look at the next one.
The next one is
yes, there is a good old trumpeter. Yeah, I was thinking sand when I typed in sand in the search box up there. This came up, and as you know, I built this one. This is the trumpeter Oshkosh MATV. Fantastic build.
Huge. It is huge.
1/16 scale. If you want to move up and move into some smaller scales, yeah, that's the right way around, isn't it? A smaller scale.
Yeah, smaller scale, 1/16.
Yeah, 1/16 scale. If you want to move up, this is a fantastic step up. It's a really easy kit to build. And
it's a new tooling, 38.6 centimeters long, 15.9 centimeters wide, and total parts 240 plus.
Yeah,
Ted did a build series on this. So if you quite fancy one of these, do go and check out Ted's eModels build series because he takes you through the whole process.
Yeah, it's not a difficult build. There's not many parts in it. It's big enough that you can have a go at doing some scratch building. There's a little bit of photo etch on it, and it's dead easy.
Yeah, you scratch built the radio unit, didn't you, inside?
Yeah. I scratch built the radio and put some seat belts in it and did one or two other things. Put some lights in it as well. Put some lights in it.
It is important to note for those purists out there, this is a curbside kit. There's no engine in there, but there's a very good reason for that. They didn't have permission to look at the engine.
Yeah.
So they've not had permission to make the engine part of the kit. So it's a curbside kit. There's no engine in there.
Yeah, I do know that there are some 1/16 scale RC kits out there for this. Whether this is set up by Trumpeter for maybe they've future-proofed it to make it RC controllable.
Yeah.
I've just got to pop away for a minute, guys, so I shall be back shortly.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Chris.
But there will be no doubt as well third-party conversion kits to add things like. I mean, I don't know if there are, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a third-party engine kit. Or a resin engine kit. It'll be a best guess kit because nobody.
Yeah. This is a new vehicle for the US military, and I understand that the UK are also interested and possibly even purchasing some of them. And it is shown in the desert colours here, but there are, if you look around the websites, there are lots of other green sort of camouflage colours as well for it. But
and you know I would go Mad Max on this.
Yeah. Yeah, you could max it. Yeah. Once again, yeah, there are actually some. I've seen some pictures of some matte black ones as well. And they're awesome.
And if you do live near to eModels, this model that Ted built for his video series is actually on their display shelf, because we take all our finished eModels builds into the store. So if you're in the area, pop in, take your wallet, and go and have a look. It's there on the shelf, and it's massive.
Yeah, it's good. Really enjoyed building it. Yeah, so have a go yourself. Yeah, I thought I could put that one in without doing some sand. When we did sand, I thought we could put that one in.
Yeah, I'd probably do it in non-desert colours, because I could do all the weather.
It does look good in sort of a green camouflage.
Did you go for a big wee, Chris? Is that what it was? Oh, we can't hear you, mate. You've turned your microphone off.
Hello, I'm back.
Did you go for a big wee?
No, I was checking on the family. They're asleep, so it's okay.
Yay.
Anyway, next one, please, Mr. Fox.
Next one.
Yeah, desert sand. Yeah, holidays sand, desert sand. Yeah, any of those things that you've just seen so far, the Oshkosh, the Surfer Dude, make yourself a little diorama with this AK desert sand.
Yeah, I've got some of that. I haven't used it yet.
Yeah, I've used it. It's good. It's really easy to use. It comes in. You can use it 2 colours. You can mix them. You can water it down. You can add rocks and pebbles to it. It really is a useful item for your diorama.
And I think you just put it on and spread it on quite nicely, don't you?
Yeah, spread it on. Yep, you just slap it on. Slap it on.
Okay.
Slap it on nice and thick. Even if you let it go off a little bit, let it set a little bit, you can run some tyre tracks through it.
Yep. It can be shaped when wet and sanded once dry.
Yeah, great little stuff. Not too expensive either. Always handy. I don't know about its keeping properties once you've opened it. Mine's all packed away in a box, so I can't take it out and check.
I suspect it's basically an acrylic, a texture paint.
It is. It's acrylic paint with lots of acrylic.
Diluted with water or acrylic thinner to improve its flow.
It can be watered, can be painted, can be sanded, can do anything with it. But,
we have some clarification on the Surfite and the Ed Roth figure. And now somebody said this, I realised I knew who Ed Roth was. Ed Roth was an artist and a hot rod designer, and he was the guy that came up with Ratfink.
Oh, wow.
That's why he's wearing a Ratfink tee. And I thought, I knew the name Ed Roth, I just didn't remember I knew it. So there you go.
No, so not a guy too far away from your heart then, Fox.
Yeah, and David Moore says the English version of the Oshkosh is painted pink. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, and Aculeus. Now, Aculeus has told me how to pronounce his name, and I did this last night, and I can't remember. I think it's Aculeus, but he says it's near enough. As Chris says, Eculeu 5. He says, anybody want to buy plans for the engine? So we can guess where Aculeus works then.
Yeah, a few photographs would be nice. Yeah, we could. Yeah.
And Spruglu Addict says that Chris is the real Miss Popoff.
Thank you.
Right, moving on to the next one. I've got a next one. Yes, holidays. If you're going away on a holiday, you want something to do in the car or on the train.
Well, maybe not in the car, Ted.
You go over a speed bump and everything. These are everywhere. Yeah, but you want to keep yourself occupied, keep the kids occupied. I was just browsing through, and I didn't know that eModels sold these sort of things.
Yeah. Now, obviously, because I often say that eModels don't do Warhammer and stuff like that yet.
Yeah.
But this is basically Napoleonic Warhammer.
Yeah.
Effectively, it's dice tabletop gaming.
Now, I did find something from eModels on here, and I lost it before I sent you the link. If you search heavy arms, it comes up with some Warhammer type figures. But anyway, that's digressing.
I need to do that in a minute, because heavy arms is a Gundam.
Yeah, right.
We're going to have to do that before we go. Now, it doesn't look much on there, but however, it includes 160 infantry, 24 cavalry, 4 guns and 12 crews, 6 brigadiers, 2 times 10-inch 3D terrain board, 6 buildings, 4 dice, and 1 set of rules.
Yeah. Now, you need this to go on your holidays, because you know why? Because even though it's red hot, the roads are melting, the sun's splitting the pavement, as soon as you set off on your holidays, it's going to pour down. So you want something to do, sat in your hotel, passing the time of day while the rain hammers down on the windows.
Yeah, but I like this because it's basically like Warhammer. It's more like Age of Sigmar, but you could spend ages painting all the little tiny figures. So
Yeah, good. Yep. So
Napoleonic Warhammer. Now I've got to search for heavy arms. I know we're still on this, but I've got to do it because I've got to see what you said there. Heavy, one word or 2 words?
I can't remember now. Yeah, I definitely saw it.
That must be 2 words.
No, I'm going to have to find it for you.
We'll find it.
I don't know how I found it, but it came up. There was little fellas like you had on your skitter build.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they would have got him perfectly, actually. So I'll find it. I'll find it at the end of the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Next one.
Next one. Oh no, that was last week's prize. That's it. That's what we've done in store.
We're on to prize.
Yes, so that was last week's giveaway prize.
Yes. Have we got a winner for that yet? Are we going to do that yet, or should we carry on and do the last?
Don't know,
yeah, we'll do the last one. Yeah, we'll do the last one because it's the holidays and it's summer and it's hay fever. I thought the only one.
Hang on. Aren't we giving that away?
Are we? Yeah.
If we do that,
let's save it and we'll give that.
Yeah, let's save that one. Yeah, let's save that one, right, so like unshare.
Unshare.
There you go, we're back. And we're back in the room.
Back in the room.
Yeah, that's his already singing Go Canada.
Wolf says Michael Jackerman. So yes, don't forget, as always, if any of those do take your fancy, don't hang around.
Slap it in your basket.
I don't even have to tell him now. He just said it. I like it. With that coordinated, I don't know how.
Slap it in your basket, but don't forget it's not yours till you check it out.
Yeah, so check it out straight away because somebody could come along and buy it while it's in your basket.
Yeah, it's a bit like shoplifting. The guy behind you stood in the queue. Oh,
I'll have that. There you go. Now I must away from the camera for just a few moments, so I shall come back in a second.
Oh, what we're going to do now then?
I'm going to check on my family.
I need to go for great.
Yeah, just turn your sound off.
I don't hide these things. I'm honest about it. I need to go for a great big wee. So we're back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
I don't want to know about that. That's more information than we needed as well.
Right, what are we going to do without him then?
I don't know. We can just sit here quietly and wait.
Do you know any jokes? Yeah, bad joke time.
Says it's a comfort break.
Yeah. You know, he's gone out for a fag. Oh, Fox goes, wee, says Lindipple. I'm just reading back through the chat because unfortunately I've got chat on.
Yeah, Michael Jacobin said earlier, I was going to mention it, but we're talking about other things. He says, anyone in London, the F-35s are flying in the 100 fly past tomorrow. I don't know if you've heard about it. Because it's 100 years of the RAF. There's a fly past happening mainly London. I think it's coming up from Ipswich. I think it starts. So they're coming down through past London and over Windsor. So they're flying lots of old planes, basically.
I know. There's a good chance of people seeing the red arrows about at the moment because there's lots of air shows going on and round and about. There's one at Southport at the weekend, and apparently they flew over Cumbria, but the wrong location. So I didn't.
Back.
Welcome back.
Hold on.
Yep.
Yes, so, I'm honest. I just say if I need to go for a great big wee. The thing is,
I would, but I didn't.
Honest. Because all the water we drink because it's hot. So.
Oh, yeah.
What did I miss?
Zadster said the Lancaster flew over him on Saturday, so yeah, it must have been pretty close to an air show.
It flew over Cheadle, which is near me, but I didn't hear it.
No, yeah. I was just saying, there's lots of air shows going on at the moment, so there's a fair chance that people will be seeing all sorts of strange aircraft coming and going. Maybe the Red Arrows. I missed them at the weekend because they were across at Blackpool and Southport.
Michael Brown asked me, he says, I might have asked before, but are you going to weather your D'Agostini R2D2? I don't think so. I haven't got any plans to. It's looking quite nice, coming together, clean and shiny. So it's still a possibility that I could, but I don't think I'm going to at the moment.
Yeah. David Moore says Diefenbacher. I get that reference.
Yep. Hey.
Fox goes wee, says Lynn Dipple. Sprigler Addict and Lynn Dipple both say hello Fox's mummy and hi Fox's mom. My door's closed to keep the heat out, so I don't know whether there'll be interference from the side or not. There might.
We were sort of hoping that when you went away, she might come in and take over for a little while.
She was very clever last time on the last show because she knew exactly that the camera's in a new place now, so she didn't go past the door. She was like, yeah. Because she got caught on camera once and was like, "Oh, I wasn't, was I? Yeah, I moved the camera." So,
the Foxx and Mum show.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, where are we up to? Are we going to get things away?
Should we do some stickers and stuff and nonsense?
Yeah. Have you got any more questions?
Let's have a look, see if we've got any more questions coming out. Should we have? Yeah. Oh, right. Let me read them a moment.
Has anybody got their stickers to hand?
I have a bundle of stickers, indeed. Yes.
Ah, excellent.
This is what you're fighting for this week.
Yes, the stickerage.
Coveted
and the mug
sticker.
We've all got new mugs now because we went
mugs,
to week, so we've got the new mugs now.
New mugs. Bet Ted's missed this. No,
got the new updated mug.
Yep. I'm getting word from the producers.
Right. Just hope the tickling stuff's not full of spite.
Do you know what's bad about that? Is that's the thing I use to get all the dust out of the corners where there are spiders and things.
Yeah.
So that's going to have like spiders and dust.
I think I can see one on your beard actually, but don't worry about it. It's fine.
Spiders living in there now. Right.
Sergeant Bones says he's drinking from his mug right now as well.
Oh, good girl.
Yes. Yeah. Don't forget when we do the mug giveaway, if you don't win a mug, if you're not lucky enough to win a mug, you can get them from the eModels store at cost price with free delivery.
Yep. They don't make any money on them. They just sell them for whatever it costs them to get them.
Yep. So
a few people are saying hi, Fox's mum. Now she's made an appearance.
Yes.
David Moore says, Ted, thank you eModels for the sticker that came with the tooth. Yeah, I'm not sure which was the bonus bit in that package, the sticker or the tooth.
Yeah, I got a sticker.
Phil Kett says I got a sticker as well with my mug from last week. Yeah, they're not shy with the stickers. They're not.
Nah, they like giving them out. I like the fact they stick a sticker on the box because I remember the first time I saw them do that. Somebody was filming an unboxing and they got the box out and I'm like, oh, they've just stuck a sticker on the box. That's a bit rubbish. And then he opened it up and there's another sticker inside. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yes. Yeah. They spare no expense at eModels.
Mum's shouting hello upstairs again. Hey.
Yeah, 20-second delay coming upstairs. Right. Should we do a sticker giveaway first?
Yeah, let's do the stickers first.
Yeah, right.
How many questions have we got in? I know Gerwin sent one.
I've got enough questions. I've got a question for a mug and a question for a sticker.
Yeah,
so,
yes.
We're good to go.
You know, if one day somebody actually gives us a question where the answer is Dunkelgelb, then there's always somebody that says Dunkelgelb like 10 minutes before we get to the questions.
Yeah.
Like Sergeant Bones. So that's going to be a difficult one to call, that one.
Right. Right. This is a question from Tony Blackwell.
You can see the chat now, Ted, can you?
No, I can't see the chat.
Because we don't know the answer.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, you'll know the answer.
Oh, we'll know the answer, will we?
Okay.
It might be.
We hope.
Oh no, you might not. No, you might not know.
Oh, where's gone wrong?
I better get the chat up. Right. This question is from. I'll work it out. This is getting complicated. It's good.
Stare politely at the chat and go, We'll read out the answers and then use the chat when it's the right one. If we don't know what it is.
It's good to be back and confused. Yes. Right. This is a question from Tony Blackwell. Don't remember, you don't answer till they say go. And if you want a sticker, is it a sticker? Yeah, if you want a sticker, you can answer the question. If you don't want a sticker but you know the answer, don't answer it, leave it for somebody else to do. Right. This is from Tony Blackwell, as I keep saying. He says, what is the first name of Lady Penelope's butler Parker? Go.
I have no idea.
I could guess, but
what's the first name of Lady Penelope's butler?
I think we'll have to read that to you there, Chris. To Ted, because I have no idea.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's not Green or 412.
Yeah, right. I'm up to 412.
Barnaby. We've got Aloysius.
Yeah, Aloysius. Yeah, I'll take that spelling. Aloysius.
Oh, have you got the chat open?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Aloysius.
Aloysius Parker.
Really?
From Osric 9000.
That's right. Yeah. So send us your details to ted@emodels.co.uk and we'll get a sticker in the post for you.
If you do win
people
something,
still
by the
answering.
way, make sure to put in the email what it is you want if you want a sticker or not, so we know.
Yeah, I want a sticker.
People are still answering. Is it Dave, John, James, Fred, Boy, Nosy,
Norman.
Sydney, Bob,
Norman Long said it was
Marmaduke?
Marmaduke.
Yeah, I did try that job for a little time, but I didn't stick to it.
What, being Parker?
Yeah, I was Parker for a while, but I didn't.
Is this before or after
Nosy was his
96?
nickname.
Yeah, I couldn't get with my hands moving at the same time as my feet.
How did you do the constant block nose?
Yes, my lady.
Dude.
Right, thanks for that. Right, back to the questions. Need to open another page.
Is this for a mug now?
This is for the mug.
Mug.
This is the mug. This is the special edition, second generation mug.
With the eModels logo and new logo man person thing.
Mr. E is actually called.
Is he?
He's actually called Mr. E.
Mr. E.
Mr. E.
It's mystery.
Mystery.
Yeah. This is a question from Gerwin Moores. I'll read you first.
That was a bit northern.
I'll read the first question because the second one's really complicated. Right. This is for a mug. Remember, if you've won a mug, if you've won a first generation mug, you might want a second generation mug.
Yeah, because if you've got an old one, it's not the same as this one. This one's got 100% more different things in it.
Yeah.
Mug 2.0.
You can answer the question and win another mug. If you don't want, once again, if you don't want a mug, but you know the answer, just leave it for somebody else to answer.
Just quickly, Earl D says, "Can we have a real Lotus for a prize?" And I can hear Pete's wallet twitching from here.
Yeah. No. Well, it'd be cheaper to send a door, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Hi, Ted. Nice to see you again. Yeah, you can see me just. Hi. Nice to see you again. I says, when did the internet go public? When did the internet go public? Now I've got to go back to chat.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh no, I forgot the answer.
When did the internet get it's in the email you just read.
Right, yes. What year? The year will do. What year did the internet go public? Now I've got to scroll back now.
92, 91, 88.
91. Who said 91?
Phil said 91.
Yeah, 91, that'll do. Yeah, the answer was, I can't find it.
6th of August, 1991, James Chapman says.
Yeah, 6th of August, 1991. Yeah, so whoever said 91 first.
Phil Kett jumped in first.
Yep. 91. Thanks for that. You are the winner of an eModels second generation mug.
eModels mug.
And says as late as 91. Blimey, it does feel like a long. Yeah, 91's like ages ago though, but it doesn't really feel like it.
It's nearly 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's scary, isn't it?
Is it that long?
I realised that in 2 years' time, it'll have been 30 years since I left school.
Oh,
that's depressing. That's the same amount of time from World War II to when I was born. That's kind of scary.
Yeah. We're not getting any younger. We're not getting any prettier.
No. Age all the way. It's downhill all the way. So well done, Phil. Send Ted an eModel, ted@emodels.co.uk with your name and address. And say you want a mug. So he doesn't send you a sticker.
Yeah. Right. Should we? We'll be giving some more things away. Do we?
Yes.
Give last week's away?
Yeah. Okay. Let me do the screen share thing again. Where's the screen share thing? Lock it on me.
You lock it on you.
There we go. So last week we were giving away the 116th RCMP Canadian A female officer with a dog, 100% new molds. We're gonna try something different this week. We're gonna try and actually draw the winner live. Dun, dun, dun.
Scary high technology stuff.
Yeah, we suddenly realised we can do it and actually show it on telly. So
this is doomed to failure, isn't it?
Yeah, because Ted put a comment on the video like a spoon, so you can guarantee. So we've got the video from last week when we asked you to write a Canada-based apology, and we had something. Basically, lots of like, sorry for posting this. I'm really sorry. So, because Canadians are well known for being polite and apologising. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the URL for that page. We're going to copy it into our random comment picker of random comments. This is how we do it every week. I suddenly realised we could do it in screen share. And it's probably laden with disaster. So we're going to load that page. If you see any of my live streams, it's the same thing I use. And all we're going to do is randomly pick a winner. So if one of you gentlemen will give me a countdown, we can press the magic button.
3, 2, 1, and go.
Damn Ducks Bobbington says a great big fly just flew in. I think he's actually responding to someone else, but it's a comment on the video.
Not terribly Canadian, but no.
Yes. So there you go. So Damn Ducks Bobbington, well done. You have won yourself the RMCP female officer.
At least it wasn't Ted.
With happy looking dog. Yeah, Ted. I did one the other week and I picked one of my own comments. I'm like, oh, I can't win the prize. So Damn Ducks, well done. You've won yourself that kit. Just send Ted an email. Tell him what to do, Ted.
Yeah, send us an email to ted@emodels.co.uk.
Yep.
And don't forget to put in the title or the text what you've won, because we switch off and instantly forget.
Yep. So just put down you've won the Canadian Mountie with the dog, or just put hashtag 16008. And that means the guys will know. We just pass the information on to eModels and then they go grab them.
Dan Dr. Robinson is in chat and says, yay, I think.
Yeah. Hey, at least you didn't win the tooth. And you haven't seen what we're giving away this week yet.
You suddenly realise you've won a prize and you put your head in your hands and go, oh no, what have I done?
Hey, it's free. At the end of the day, it's something free. But we do ask that you post something up in the gallery, or at least on the eModels Facebook page when you've done it, just to show how you got on with it.
Yeah, send us a picture of you with your model, even if you don't want to post a picture of the finished model. A picture of you winning or receiving your kit through the post. That'd be great.
Yeah. Right now.
Right.
Ted.
Yes, I chose this week's giveaway.
Yeah, can we point out that what you're about to see is Ted's choice, and we had no involvement in this.
Well, I did say it was a theme of holidays and sunshine and beaches and things like that. And I thought everything of that combined would be hay fever. So this week's giveaway is
Lindbergh 1-to-1 scale nose mouth kit.
Yes, so you can point to where your hay fever is.
You thought the tooth was weird.
Yeah, when you're not feeling too good, you could take this with you to the doctors.
Yes, and say, look, this hurts here. I can prod my finger in it.
Yeah. I'm slightly worried that we've broken Ted.
I know, because we had no involvement in this. This was basically Ted, I think, got caught up in our fervour. And yeah, I should warn people now, there are quite a few kits in the Lindbergh range. Zadster says, oh, what did I start? Because it was his idea. He actually suggested the Lindbergh kits a few weeks ago. Sergeant Bones says, aha, I told you Fox's choices were better. Everybody's laughing.
Yeah, no, there's lots of options you could put on this. You could add the phlegm and the things and things like that.
Yeah, get some Citadel Nurgle's rot in there. It looked particularly phlegmy.
eModels do a phlegm paint.
Phlegm paint? Yeah. Now, I don't know if the other side of this has an entire human face, so you can do a load of face painting on one side.
A bit of fun. Yeah. So, as I say, for hay fever sufferers, you can now sort of point and look and things like that.
David Moores, the winner of the tooth last week, says, do I enter it and hopefully extend my model range?
Yeah, and it's a 1-to-1 scale, so you could, if you wanted to build a finger as well.
Yeah. To a giant finger in the nostril. So just like we said to David that he's going to have, we want to know how he ends up painting the dentine in his tooth. If you win this, we want to know how you get on with the muscle fibre.
Yeah. Well, Zadster says he's going to use some glow-in-the-dark paint for snot.
Yeah, phlegm. Does it have bogies, says Sprue Glue Addict. Looks like a paint challenge, says Zadster. Osric 9000 says, And Aculius says, it's back. But I think the best comment there is Zadster saying, oh, what did I start?
Yes. So next week, as we continue to look for other body parts for eModels.
Yes. Scale Model Vamp says dies, lol, and Sprue Surgeon says cool, and Sprue Glue Addict says just what I've always wanted. It's just a bit of fun.
It's amazing what you find in eModels website when you delve and dive and look around. Yeah, and just search. Just type something random into the search box. You'd be amazed what comes up.
Yeah. So anyway, if you would like, because I know you're all chomping at the bit to win this. See what I did there? Chomping, it's about the mouth. So we'll lead you like a bull by the. Never mind. We're trying to make all mouth to nose jokes now. It's not working.
Yeah, you're not funny.
Perhaps you could build in a sound unit with it, couldn't you?
Burps and coughs and things.
Yeah.
Ted, you just build it with like a little glass of gin in a hand.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes, if you would like to win this unique sort of kit,
one of a kind.
Yep. All you need to do is wait till this show's finished. Give it 10 or 15 minutes until this show is just a video on the eModels channel. And as always, just put a comment on this week's show. And I shall let Ted choose, as he chose this. I shall let Ted choose what the comment should be.
Yes. Let's put a comment of why you've gone to see the doctor. Can you fix this?
Yes.
Doctor, I have a problem.
Doctor.
This could be a very regrettable decision you take, but we'll see how it turns out.
Doctor,
especially if we pick the winner live next week.
Oh, can we have your best doctor joke?
Oh yeah, there you go.
That'd be better.
Yeah,
that'll do. Your doctor joke. Yeah, that'll do.
Let's have a look. Spriegler Addict says the box comes with 3 inches of dust. David Moore says, is the tongue there as well? I don't know, actually. Jimmy's Model says, have they got the eye kit too? They do, actually. They have the eye.
I have an eye kit. Yeah.
Michael Jackman says, not interested, got some serious things to build. It's just a bit of fun.
Oh, nothing. Yeah, have a bit of fun.
It's a bit of fun. We're just giving stuff away. So anyway, yes. So just put a comment on this week's video. Just add your best doctor joke or a doctor comment or just anything. And we'll pick a winner next week.
Cool.
Randomly.
And Sergeant Bone says, or as Fox says, just post a comment.
Yeah.
Right, so unshare. Hang on. There you go. And we're back. One in the back of the room. 1, 2, 3.
So we're back in. It's about time to wrap up. We've given everything away. We've had a good chat tonight.
You've maintained a constant video feed, Ted, and audio. It's impressive.
Yeah, it's good.
On your 1996 broadband.
Yes.
We'll have to take odds on what room you'll be broadcasting from next week.
Yes.
I think I'll stick to this one. I might try and do some deadening sound editing. It sounds a bit echoey.
Egg cartons. Stick egg cartons to the walls. Mrs. Ted won't mind at all. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Or just put furniture in it rather than a big pile of boxes in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Carpet on the stairs. I think we heard Mrs. Ted go upstairs earlier on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The people have gone up and downstairs. Cat's gone up. Anyway, but it's about time that I went and took all this lot apart now because I'm on the dining table. However, I did find that when I was rearranging furniture and things in here, I might have, see down here, I might have a bit of a workspace that I could sort of do some modelling with. You never know.
As a stopgap kind of location.
Yes, it's a stopgap location that will have to go under negotiation.
Yeah. Spriegler Addict says Ted's mansion is a bit echoey.
Yes, we're in the east wing at the moment, so it's a little bit echoey at this side.
Yes, it's the servants' quarters. There's not much furniture in there.
No, not much furniture.
And says, correct, 2 hours already. Yeah, time has flown this evening.
Time has flown. Yes, yeah, we've really taken 2 hours of your time, which you'll never get back.
Yeah, David Moores is really into the spring with his giant tooth. He says, thinking about doing one side of the tooth pristine and the other side weathered and had fillings.
Yeah. Yeah, build a giant dentist drill.
Oh God, build it like one of them giant dentist probes.
Anyway, on that note, time to call it a night. Time to shut everything down and take things apart and put things back in boxes until the next week when hopefully I can get back online and I'll have complained to BT by then and got some more broadband.
Yep, Spruce Surgeon says he enjoyed his first show. Thank you for coming along.
Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah. Right, yeah. Michael Jackman says, well, next week will be World Cup winners or World Cup failures. But then again,
yep, one of them.
That's football.
That's football. It's football. I don't know football.
No. Anyway, until the next time, when we will find some more weird and wonderful things about what's in store, we might find some good things. But they're all good things in store. Don't forget, anything you want in the eModels store, go and put it, slap it in your basket, because we don't know how many they've got. And until next time.
One last thing, just to very quickly answer a question that's just popped up. Earl D says, any folks into Nurgle here when it comes to the gold parts think a high gloss will be good? Yes. Nurgle's rot, blood for the blood god, and if you need to, bit of gloss varnish if you need them.
Yeah, gloss of shine.
I know what all that means. I know you guys don't.
Yeah. Anyway, it's good night from me, good night from him, good night from him, and it's good night, everybody. Good night.
Adios, amoebas.
Bye all.
I can turn it off now without while I
You can't turn
You've
that.
got no hands. Yeah, I can do no hands.
How long can you wait for before you get bored?
Yeah.
A little while.